Hello, hello, and welcome to all those who seek adventure, justice, and big damage numbers that come out of the enemy's head. Welcome to Knights of New Avalon, the only NLR game with double XP on Mondays, it turns out. Before we do anything else, let me introduce you to my amazing players and beacons. We'll be starting with, I do not have overlay order, so whoever is in the top left, it's not me.
That's
I think
Lucian.
that would be...
Oh shit, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Hi, I'm Lucian. I'm playing Cam, the solitary angler. Gonna have to get used to saying that. Yeah, I'm playing a life weaver. It's gonna be fun.
So, moving clockwise. Who's to the right, Lucian?
I believe that makes it you, Foxy.
Oh, we're going that way? Cool,
Clockwise.
sweet. Hi, folks. I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. And today, I am happy to introduce you all to the lovely and adorable Kana Alva, the Aureate Cavalier. Playing the Arsenal, I will have lots of swords and intend to use them efficaciously.
Ooh,
I guess if we're going clockwise for me, then that would bring it to, if I'm remembering correctly, should be
Essie.
Essie next, yes?
Oh, hello. Hello, everyone. I'm Essie or Erin Spencer. Either one is fine. She, her, sometimes they. And I will be playing Maeve, just Maeve, the human Equinox, inspired by sort of a character concept of adult Jinx and an alternate universe, sort of mixed with a little bit of Catalyst from Apex Legends. No official sponsorship from either, unfortunately.
We would do it, though. Either of them. Give us the money. Anyways.
Incredible.
If you're listening, Riot, hit me up. Talk. We got
Yeah.
people, okay?
Apex is pretty rad too, and we love free to play.
Cool.
I
Sorry, again, who would be next?
think that's me. So I'm
Hey,
Emily
Haze.
playing Haze, Cambion Gravewalker, Sapphire's Glare. That's all I got.
Perfect. It seems like Chouse would be next. Then?
Mhm.
Process of elimination.
Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Chouse. I'll be playing Ajax, the Machina Gunslinger. It's been a while since I've been able to be in an NLR games, but I'm in here like the Q and Cucumber, making no fucking sense.
It's perfect.
Wait,
Excellent.
Cucumber doesn't
And with-
start with a Q?
Exactly.
Bringing back the intro bits.
Yeah. Oh, we got
You just
intro
shattered
bits.
my whole
to
worldview.
spare.
Incredible.
And after those lovely introductions, hello, my name is Tate Washford, and I will be playing literally everybody else in the Fractal Realms. Speaking of which,
Me.
yes,
Me IRL.
I want you all to imagine something with me. Picture your home, your room, your kitchen, your front door, the street, the building, the trees, people, and sky. The sphere of your life and all of the people in it. Now imagine it floating in a sea of chaotic, unformed magical reality. Isolated and alone. Surrounded by unbridled chaos. This is the reality of the fractal realms. Bubbles of reality, multiplying and dividing, each containing a unique and magical land. And between them, the Aether Wilds, a roiling mass of etheric energy constantly changing shape, defying travel and maps, traversable only by prepared paths and specialized vehicles. Which is where we find our heroes, flying through the Aether Wilds on a Aether ship, a realm ship named the Aether Wake. It is sleek is not necessarily the word we might use for it. It is a ship that defies physics to fly, and it is currently over a sort of scrubland. There are rocks and bushes and grasses flying beneath it. And I would love to know where my players are on the ship. And we're gonna switch to adventure.
I'll fall on the sword first. Why not? Fine. I think much like we described in previous gatherings, I think when not resting or eating, both of which he does frequently, Kana is abound sort of on the amidships deck, keeping themselves busy in rounds and rounds of repeated training. He has sort of what looks almost like a wooden shinai of some kind of like a wooden boken sword of some kind. It's just moving himself through a series of repeated practiced katas and stances and forms, quietly mumbling to himself a little bit, but keeping a sort of excited bounce to a step as he moves.
And as Kana does so, something about the way that you move, or like a kata you are doing, reminds you of the moment you decided to join the beacons. You are currently on a ship that is for these prestigious sort of mythical figures of beacons, and you had to be convinced to do so. What was that like? What was that moment?
I imagine the camera kind of shifts a bit to see Kana similarly armed. He wears a very simple, you call it a knight's panoply, but it feels very bare bones, stripped of lots of the more parts built for protection. Lots of mobility are offered by the suit. This sort of smaller, darker skinned elf, longer pointed ears and black markings about his forehead and face and around his eyes, hair in a long sort of black bun dripping down his face and golden eyes. Facing down what appears to be another knight, much more officially armored, and that knight is sort of down to one knee, a hand at the ground, while Kana kind of stands barely a few more inches taller than them, literally on a knee, next to them, and has just the widest smile on his face, and has a large polearm made entirely of golden hard light held in one hand. And he tilts ahead at this knight and just says, "That was fun. You are strong. I appreciate you for the offer."
They wield a sort of lance knife thing, like it's an extendable lance. It's this sort of magitech weapon, which is tossed to the floor next to them. They also have like a collapsible shield that looks like a gauntlet that becomes like a whole tower shield they want, that is probably sundered in a few corners as they kneel here. And it's, I usually work on a team. I wasn't expecting combat today.
A team, you say? So you have friends?
Don't sound so surprised.
Are they strong?
He seems to hesitate for a moment. He was like clearly going to answer. He goes, "You seem very preoccupied with strength." Yes, they're strong.
The world is full of wonderful challenges and glorious fights yet to be had. I intend to find each and every one of them. If you are surrounded by strong people, stronger than you, I would like to meet them and fight with them.
He seems to think for a second. He goes, "Well, you could become a knight and join us in our games and our missions, but I was trying to ask you if you would like to join the Beacon program. I've been told by my superiors you were recommended by your family to join."
Beacon. I seem to hear that word thrown around often these days. I'm not sure what it means just yet. I am not sure what it means just yet. But I have a feeling that finding it out will bring me to lots of wonderful challenges. New people. Great things to be seen. So, perhaps I shall.
The knight that has been defeated stands up and says, "I can promise you only that it will be an adventure. If it was anything like mine." And I think that's the moment that we come back to the deck of the Aether Wake. You still practice for a moment, and your teammates are either around you on the deck or below decks or in the command cabin. Oh, I can't think. Anyways, so yeah, who else would like to introduce their character?
I think
I'll go
Maeve.
next.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I think Maeve, having grown slightly bored with watching Lucian doing all the fishing. Characters versus
Yeah. Cam.
Cam. Getting a little bored of watching Cam with the fishing, despite that being a comfort for her when she first arrived, has now tried to make her way up to the top of the crow's nest. I don't know if there would be a check required for that, but she's going to try to climb up there to get to the very top.
No, I think that's the rigging behind it is there entirely just for that
Pretty
purpose. It's
stable.
not difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, she'll take her time and
yeah.
be careful and just kind of climb up there. And some of y'all might see her very carefully, just hand over handing it up to the top of the crow's nest, and she'll just kind of get up there and, not wanting to be so bold, she just does her little kind of contemplative birdie sit, where she kind of like has her knees up and is just kind of sitting up there on the crow's nest and just letting the wind blow her hair a little bit. And as presented before you, her look is very similar to what I have. I'm sort of cosplaying Maeve. So she has the same hair. It's raven black with some purple highlights sort of streaked in between, tied up in a little bit of a mini ponytail in the back, some bangs along the side, and pretty much the same outfit. I was so lucky that my partner actually had this outfit. It's just sort of it's a one-piece bodysuit, but she also has sort of ripped jean shorts and also ripped black tights, as well as kind of old, kind of worn down, faded combat boots that have seen a lot of wear and tear and have some cuts in the leather, and you can see that they are boots that have been well worn and have seen some things. And she just kind of taps her feet up there on the mast, on the crow's nest, and just kind of looks around and just embraces the wind and the calm. She knows that there's another mission that the beacons have to go on, but compared to the things that she's used to, she has this demure sense of calm that sort of always permeates her. In the first mission you went on with her and any other subsequent missions or training, you can see that everything to her seems to be just tame, and she seems to be almost surprised by the lack of aggression or violence around her, and seems to be taking this opportunity as almost like a vacation, but a cautious vacation, as she is quiet, keeps to herself, kind of broke out of her shell at dinner a little bit, but now she's just sort of retreated back a little bit inward and distancing herself to allow herself to soak in everything around her. The clouds, the blue sky that isn't choked by smog and pollution. She's just fascinated by the clouds in the sky, by birds existing. Kind of, you can see her following birds and just in awe of the clean-ish air around her.
Yeah, I think as you observe, you do see the sort of nature of the Aether Wilds, the Aether Sea. I'm not sure what the realm you came from would have called it, but the clouds don't stay the same shape or the same location when you don't look at them. And if you're looking forward towards the horizon, even then you'll see it's actually slowly changing to like a orangish sunset color, despite the fact that the sun is clearly at almost like midday height. Everything about this place in between realms is unformed. Is Maeve thinking about the reason she's here, or is that something she'll think about later? I'll let you decide.
Yeah, I think that might be a good opportunity to do that flashback.
Yeah. Yeah, so you are thinking of why you are here. Do you want to set a scene?
How far are we going back? Are we going back to the interrogation cell, or are we going back to sort of being pushed into the portal?
No, I think this is where you first decided to join this program. I think the scene is going to be, you are in the Tower of the Knights of the Realm.
Yep,
You're familiar enough of New Avalon's knight system to know that that's like their highest tier of knight, the ones that are sort of in charge of keeping the other knights in line. And it's honestly a lot more well appointed than you assumed it would be when you were brought here for crimes we can get into. But it has like a nice bed and a couch and a reading table and lights. You have a window and you can see out across the city of New Avalon, these glass buildings and like magical floating structures coursing with energy, and every surface designed to keep the light away from the people in the city so it doesn't like blind them with reflections. It's kind of beautiful. It's almost maybe the inverse of what you usually think of as a large city, considering. And I think that you hear a knock on the door, despite the fact you can't open it, and it's actually past like a magical barrier. And a knight, Anselm the Merciful, who you are familiar with at this point, walks in, seems to be able to just walk through the magical barrier, and says, "Hello, Maeve."
Maeve, at this point, kind of seeing the door open, would have positioned herself like upside down in the chair.
Mhm.
So like she's got her legs up and over the back of the chair, and is
Sitting
just
as gay
sort of
as
looking
possible.
down.
Look at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
letting her hair just kind of fall down and kind of looking at the door, sort of arms outstretched on the floor. Oops, as my headphones fall off. There we go.
Yeah.
She was not wearing headphones. Essie was. Essie's a little more clumsy.
Anselm does not react to the shenanigans. He's just he's used to this at this point. I think he has met with you many times. He's like, "Have you considered our offer?"
You're back for more.
I think it would be a shame to keep you locked up for someone that could do so much more.
But I'm just getting used to it here. It's a little cozy. I'm a little confused, and she'll kind of sit herself up, sit forward, and then spin around in the chair and like do a little forward lean. So she's like both hands in front of her and leaning over like this. It's so comfortable here. Is this supposed to be a capital prison of some kind, or is this a hotel? I'm just a little confused. Can I not just leave?
I think that maybe you've asked this before. Anselm has explained this before, and he has been patient.
Yeah.
But he has given you the location and not the purpose. And I think he says this salve is for those knights who have been accused of crimes and have maybe been found guilty of those crimes.
But I'm not
for
a
them
knight,
to, well, beacons are considered knights, or at least are given similar privileges. And I do believe you are one of them, of the 5 beacons.
That seems like a little bit of a stretch. I just got here. You barely know me. I barely know you. I don't even know really where I've heard New Avalon, but I don't even know where New Avalon is. This is all so new.
It's in the name. No, he doesn't say that. That's me. I understand you are from a far ways away. I understand that you don't know us, you don't trust us, you don't know why we are doing this. But I think I know that you, of all things, would love to not be stuck in a comfortable room in a quiet city. And we're offering you the chance to prove that you're as good as I hope you are.
I don't know. This is kind of nice. And she'll just sort of get up. She'll get up like this. She'll stand on top of the chair and then sort of like do like just a little front flip over the chair. Gonna put like one foot in front of the other and just start like moving her fingers around the cell. You know, where I come from, in a cell, they have you strung up by your arms. They don't give you food or water, and it gets violent. What kind of prison is this? Now, here's what I've learned. there's always a catch. Somewhere. Someone always wants something. There's always some corrupt, corporate businessman somewhere along the lines pulling the strings. Puppets. So tell me, Mr. Knight Commander, Captain Sir, what is it that your superiors want? Who controls you? That was like the salute, by the way. She was like doing a mocking salute. Who pulls the strings here in New Avalon? And what do they want?
I think that he is trying to be patient with you, clearly, and says, I think that you're a very long way from home.
Oh, that's for sure.
And I think you need to realize that we are not the same people that you are used to. This is comfortable because we see no reason to hurt someone we already have contained. I am one of the lead knights of the highest order. I do answer to people, but I get to choose what I do, and we try and give that to everyone here. I'm sorry you have been mistreated, but that is not us. And he turns around to the door and says, I will give you time to consider again. And he's going to start leaving.
Wait.
He stops.
So if I say yes to whatever this bullshit is, I get to leave. How free would I be? What do I have to do? Do I get to explore? Do you have someone following me, shadowing me? Is this like a probation? How does this work?
I think that the scene sort of ends with a smile. Like the camera is on him with May behind, and he's a smile. It's like, probation's a good word. Let's talk details. And turns around, and we sort of zoom out across this massive city of purple and blue glass buildings, and fade back into the Aetherwig. Let's get someone else. Who else would... is anyone else in the Crow's Nest, I think, would be the first person, or people everywhere else? For the last 3 of you.
Well, I know originally, Lucian, you were going to say something, but...
Oh yeah, I can go next. I was just thinking
Hayes
is typically in the crow's nest, right?
Hayes may in fact be in proximity to the crow's nest, though not inside of it.
Yeah, because there's the upper deck.
All right, well then,
Which-
okay.
There you go.
I'll go ahead. So, Cam is in a quiet corner along the edge of the ship, sitting cross-legged, with his fishing rod dangling over the side. And for anybody paying attention, at the end of his fishing line, instead of a hook, there is a straight needle bobbing up and down in midair. And under careful observation, you'll see that there are faint golden ripples spreading out from that needle, as if it's bobbing in water that's just not quite there. And every once in a while, Cam does pull an actual fish out of thin air.
Yeah, I think that needle that's following along the sort of the ground, this, again, rocky and sandy sort of scrubland, every once in a while there's like a pond or a bit of a river that exists for just a moment. It's like it's trying to pull water out of a stone. It's not always when you get a fish. Sometimes, yeah, it is just a random fish. Do you have any yet?
I think there's a bucket by his side, and there's a couple of, the more unique fish swimming around in that bucket.
Yeah, there's some weird ones. And I think you have to keep an eye on a bucket because your airship, this is your home base, is prone to infestations of critters. And there are several of these little creatures, squiffins. They're like squirrel griffins. They have like a squirrel body. Their tail is actually feathers, but it still does like the squirrel like curve. And they have the beak heads. They are real mischievous. They tend to try and steal any amount of food they can. And I think that you have to shoo them off the bucket every once in a while, or they will reach in and try and get a fish. And at least once one tried to get a fish as you were reeling it in.
Yeah, and Cam will
sort of
kind of
swing
like
it.
throw some of the smaller fish off to the side for the squiffins to like keep
Eh.
them away from his fish that he cares about.
Yeah, I think that's mostly worked, but now you have like 5 or 6 of them. I imagine you're sort of in the back corner of the ship. So on the upper deck, there are several like perched, just like waiting for you to throw a fish, just watching intently. But yeah, this probably reminds you of what was going on the same moment that you decided to become a beacon is maybe a strong word. I imagine you were on your own houseboat fishing.
Yeah, so if anything, Cam wasn't actually on his houseboat. He was kind of standing in the middle of a small creek,
Yeah, okay.
up
Yeah.
to his waist, fishing,
Mhm.
and in his but on his houseboat, on the deck, there's a phone, and it's been ringing nonstop for about a day.
Yeah. It's this piece of solid crystal that a spell has been put into. It's something the Wizards of New Avalon are like really good at, is making obscenely complicated spells that effectively do whatever kind of technology thing they want. And yeah, it makes like a almost crystal, like glass resonant sound as the ring that it does naturally. Yeah, it's like the 3rd or 4th time.
And Cam, with a sigh, without even getting out of the water, he will flick his fishing rod, and the needle will go not through the actual crystal, but he has it in a case, and the case has a little like soft spot. The needle goes through that part of the case, and he flicks it back into his hand. You haven't kicked the bucket yet?
Funny enough, it's the same guy that was talking to Maeve. It's Anselm the Merciful. His sort of deep rumbling voice is, I am never going to die, you piece of shit, until you answer the phone and talk to me. Very different tone with you.
I was hoping after a day or two you would just stop calling. No luck, I guess.
You think so little of my resolution, my resolve, that you would think I'd give up after 2 days? I once stood guard against a
thought you'd just
horde.
be busy.
I am, and you can help. I need your help.
How important is it?
You hear him sigh, and he's like thinking of exactly how to impart this on you. We need to find all of the beacons and bring them together. And I need you to keep an eye on one.
Hold on. All of them? How many are we talking?
It's not really widely known, but considering who you are, you should know there's 5. Or at least there's 5 that are close by. Yeah, 5.
That is important enough to shorten this fishing trip.
I'm glad the potential end of the world is important enough to be more important than your fishing trip.
How soon do you need me back?
Well, unfortunately, since we don't know who all of them are, and there's a lot of people who like to pretend they are, we have maybe 20, 25 applicants, and we're trying to weed them out. I know for sure of 2. And I have on a pretty good authority for another. You're going to be in their team.
Right. So I can take my time sailing back until you finish weeding out the applicants, then, is what I'm hearing.
More or less. Not all of your time.
Great. I'll see you in a month.
No, wait, hold on. And I think you hang up right there. You get like a bunch of texts like, 2 weeks at most. That's a long time. There's no distance between these things. You're only so far away. It should only take you a few days if you hurried. I'm giving you more time that like a long string of these like text messages, effectively.
Cam, he hasn't even gone back to fishing. He's just watching the phone, looking at the text roll in.
And yeah, I guess you internally are like, all right, I'm gonna have to deal with this.
Yeah.
And as you maybe like pull up a last fish, we cut to you doing the same thing on the deck of the Aether Wake. Now, I will say, before the last two of you decide where you're at, there is some activity on the upper deck. There are the 5 interns who are sort of wizards on loan from the Avalon Academy that are collecting and setting up some complicated, like, magical sensor devices. The 5 engineers are these sort of long, fuzzy, somewhere between a ferret and like a Eastern dragon creatures that are Bo and the Ennies. There's 5 of them. 4 of them have a name and an Ennie, and you have a hard time differentiating them. They seem to be scrambling around the ship, also like making sure things are functioning. It's a little more high energy than it has been in previous missions for you guys. And you'll know the captain will be they'll be helming the ship in the command center.
Cool.
So where are you guys?
I think Hayes is near the crow's nest. They are directing this vining ferret-like creature to climb up and down the net, kind of doing training exercises. And it's kind of an odd sight because Hayes is this bluish-gray creature, almost dead-looking, the way the pallid appearance of their skin. And this creature that they're playing with is this... almost looks like it's just completely made of plants. This piece of ivy or something similar. It just twists up and down through the net to the crow's nest.
Yeah. I think you see 1 or 2 of the interns as they're like going into the ship and back up and moving this equipment do watch you sort of training this plant pet.
Yeah.
They seem interested, but normally they would ask questions because they're wizards, they're academics, they always want to ask questions, but they do seem a little too busy to do that. And I do think that something about that, what about that reminds you of the moment you decided to join this program? Where are we brought?
Well, I guess the biggest connection is that this creature was given to Hayes as they were sent off to the program.
Yeah. So I think that the camera sort of looks at this plant pet that then cuts to a small pot with a very small sort of version that's still planted on the balcony of your family's home in the suburbs of New Avalon, if I remember right.
Yeah.
It's like not in the Crystal City, but in some of the like more wider suburban sprawl around it. What about the scene?
I imagine we pan down from this little plant on the balcony into the home, where we see a long table filled with food, where Hayes and her family are sitting and enjoying a meal. Hayes has just returned from a series of travels with Ajax, and they're catching up with their family, kind of covering some of the sights and stories they heard on their travels from the souls.
All right. And you have your parents are there. You have how many siblings? 2? 1?
I
3?
have no siblings, but I guess it would be
Okay.
2 parents, an aunt, a cousin, and a grandfather. So 6 people altogether.
Yeah. And I think that you're setting up for dinner. You're having a conversation over dinner. Excuse me. There's food being passed around a large table. There's a lot of people asking you questions about some of the what are called satellite realms to New Avalon that you have been visiting. And finally, your aunt sort of speaks up and says, "So, did you get my message about the Beacon program?" And everyone else at the table kind of like stops what they're talking about because they want to know the answer to.
Yeah, I think with this like pause in the conversation, that Hayes's like blue-gray ears start to turn a bright azure with embarrassment and discomfort. Well, funny enough, the Beacon program is why me and Ajax came back to New Avalon. So they were interested
Oh.
in learning more about the program, so that was why I decided it would be a good time to stop in.
Okay, but... And then sort of gestures. But I mean, my message to you about it, not Ajax. What do you think about it?
Oh. Well... and Hayes is just blank, trying to figure out a way out of this situation. They'll try to distract by passing a dish around to whoever is sitting next to them, probably to their cousin.
Mm-hmm. The cousin takes it and is still looking at you, absent-mindedly scoops some food under their plate, passes it. It does not distract much.
Yeah.
I think it would probably be a grandparent. One of them is, we think it's a good idea. We think that you're talented enough to do anything, and it would be more than a worthy cause.
Well, I did just come back from a long trip. I was thinking I would just observe and, see how the competition goes, see how the weeding out process goes for Ajax.
Your cousin kind of scoffs, chuckles, like, I think it'll probably be one of your parents is, you can't just watch all the time. Sometimes you do have to join in, right? And I think without having it be said, family conversations often have those things that are context that no one says. That they've all said that you are a beacon, but you also know some people just say that as like a compliment,
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But they've said that
my
before in the
parents,
past.
of course you think, I'm destined for greatness. Hayes will take a very large bite and start chewing.
Yeah. I do think it's your cousin who's like right next to you and is watch you do that. Just we're not just saying that you are as good as a beacon when we say that. We think that you are one, like for realsies.
Hayes will just roll their eyes.
Join us.
I thought you were supposed to be on my side.
This is your set. Look,
You know what
Hayes.
I mean.
Yeah, look, Hayes, it's something big. It's something important. And your aunt, like, nodding, agreeing. And beacons aren't just people who are powerful or important. They're people who are going to change the world. And you look around your family and all of them say, sort of seem to agree and say the same of, we would trust you to help make the world a better place more than anyone else we know.
And Hayes, I think, seeing that even his cousin is with the team, will kind of give in and say, well, if you really think so.
Besides, they are housed in New Avalon. You don't have to leave. We'll still see you all the time. It's not like you're constantly away.
You say that, but then watch. You'll complain that I'm away all the time. And that I don't write
your
enough.
Cousin kind of okay. Yeah. I think your cousin sort of smirks at that because you are right. Like, your grandparents are going to do that. And then your cousin does sort of gesture, and you know that I actually don't know name or gender, but they're really good with plant magic. And you see a vine open the door to that balcony and bring in the potted plant. It's well, then you'll just have to take a little bit of home with you. And your grandfather, who's very allergic to every kind of pollen known to man, puts a napkin over his face a bit of just trying not to sneeze as this little vine creature. Is it more dog-like? Is it more like a
I think it's
ferret-like.
I think it's more ferret-like. I imagine it being like very
Yeah.
long and twisty.
Yeah. As this sort of like plant ferret does that thing that pets do, like shake itself out because it's been like a little wet outside, like it's kind of raining, and definitely some pollen gets in the air, and looks up at you with like these big sort of like plant eyes. I don't know exactly how that looks. We'll figure that out. And it seems to trust you implicitly, maybe more so than your family, in this moment. And I think that's a very cute point for you to be like, okay, at least you're going to try.
I can't be mad. I can't
Right.
be mad with a present like that.
Right?
And I think
Because I'm good for you.
yeah, Hayes will accept the little plant and hug their cousin, and thank her for such a precious present. What a nice going away gift.
Yeah. You're not going away. It's a new job. And then family discussion continues. Literally, it's like a 30-minute walk. It's not, and that's where we sort of fade out to both the upper deck and then also where Ajax is.
Ajax is, at least on the ship wise, they're probably on the below. They're probably below deck would be my thought.
Like in the engineering
Adding
section, or
on-
where like the hold is.
Yeah, probably the engineering section.
Okay.
They have taken it to themselves to add like sacrificial material because these squiffins keep fucking eating away at the beams and shit. They're like,
Yeah.
if the ship falls apart, we fall through the sky. Why is no one worried about this?
I think Ajax would be particularly like baffled by the fact that the engineers of Bo, Penny, Kenny, Lenny, and Jenny, they don't seem bothered by the Squiffins at all. In fact, they seem to be encouraging them. They don't really like come through a lot of the supporting beams. I think that they get a lot of the like wiring, or they like shave bits off because they're clearly making nests in this place, especially in the central engineering compartment. And they scramble around even as you're trying to like repair these things and add extra stuff. None of Bo nor the Ennies stop you. In fact, they tend to hand you stuff. They're like, yeah, we're happy to have extra help to do this. I don't think you're wrong. They just don't mind doing it. As one of them scurries past, hands you a bit of like a magically reinforced copper that you can sort of shape onto this place that a Squiffin has torn away, and continues. And there is something familiar about building and repairing that reminds you of home, of the reborn glade, I believe, is what this satellite realm is.
Yeah, I think like visually we see like the camera almost kind of rotate around, and as like there's like a pillar almost, and then Ajax kind of is still like standing there, and the background changes to the scene.
Yeah, and I think that you know the very first reborn of these sort of souls that have been pulled out of the Aether Wilds, these lost souls that have been there for any amount of time. It's impossible to know, and put into these mechanical bodies. The first of the reborn is still around. It's not like a very old culture. You know them, I think, simply as Builder. They have like a longer name, but that's like their honorific title as the first. Builder has a very simple design. It's almost like it's the default one that has just been weathered, and yours is one that has been modified. But despite that, there's something so comforting to you to be with Builder. They're like a grandfather almost, or a grandparent. And I think you guys are probably repairing some structure, probably someone's home or like a materials depot. It's some wall, because that's just stuff breaks down, stuff has to be replaced, and it's a quiet moment of that. They don't seem to talk mostly in there. Do you initiate conversation first, or not?
I think it would be Ajax that would pipe up about it,
Mhm.
saying, it appears that New Avalon is trying to gather beacons into a single group. Are you aware of this program?
Yes. I think it's a wise choice. There's something going on when there are, as I've heard, enough beacons to join a team together. It's rare that we get more than one or two in any age, is my understanding. Although I'm not that long lived to have remembered the last time. And there is something odd that it's the Knights doing it, to be honest, as opposed to the Wizards. However, it makes sense to me. What do you think?
Primary concern, as you stated, the Knights. How much trust in their institution can be placed? What is their objective?
Yeah, I think Builder seems to nod appreciatively. Like, that's a very wise question. Very good. I believe that any institution is only as good as the people in it. I only know so many of the Knights. And there are some that are honest and some that are secretive. But most of them that I've met at least seem to believe in the idea behind them. That idea is quite obsessed with glory and power, but is dedicated to protecting people, mostly. I think you're wise to ask that question, and I think the wisest thing to do would be to keep asking it, even if you join.
Ajax probably has like might have been like hammering something in the middle of that, and because like they both know that Ajax is a beacon. Ajax has probably known that since like they awoke, and like actually had consciousness, and she's like, oh, okay, everyone's just saying I'm a beacon. Is that like something special? And then going through life figuring, oh, okay.
And I think here you can even see the structure at the center of the glade is this sort of pavilion, and there's a big like circle of arcanic material that's suspended over it, and the realm crystal for your like satellite realm, the object that keeps a realm cohesive and together and makes it so it is not the Aether Wilds. It's not just chaos. And yeah, you can remember the very first thought you had was being built in that pavilion by that arcanic structure around that crystal, and being empowered by it and touching it and seeing a projection of your soul that went across the entire realm, of you being sure and true and aware of everything in this small little pocket realm, this glade. And you knew in that moment, even though you didn't know what it was, that yeah, they're right, you're a beacon. And that the people here, the other reborn, and the one or two of the other humans and elves and dwarves that were there, that are just part of this community, were here because they believed in something. They believed in building like a new community here. And that wasn't that long ago. Since then, you've learned some things about beacons, and that they are fated to change things, and that in the past they have saved the world. And the builder is nodding and says, so What is your answer? Will you go? And you can ask more questions, but if that's sort of the end of that.
Let's see. Ajax, let's see, they'd probably, let's see. They'd probably say something along the lines of, it'd be silly if I wasn't going to.
Yeah. And I think that's sort of the line, if you allow me, that we re-enter current time. Almost as we come back on Ajax, fixing this here and doing this there. And I think that's the moment that you all hear over various intercoms across the ship. The captain, Captain Zane Fireplume, said, "All beacons to the command center." They sound a little tense. Scene is yours.
Kana will stop spinning his katas in circles and kind of spin the sword and kind of hold it over his shoulder and look up to the, various places other beacons are looking and just... I believe the captain is calling for us, friends.
Hayes will nod, kind of reach their arm out towards Ovid, the plant ferret, and Ovid will slide up into their big sleeve and just disappear into their robes, and they will look up and call up to Maeve, "You coming?"
Oh, Captain, my captain calls again, huh? Fine, but only for you. And she will just take one last take one last breath of this fresh air up top on the crow's nest, and now she will do kind of a dramatic and start to just kind of dance a little bit, and will almost look like she's about to fall off the top, but she will firmly place her hands down in a safe position before she flips her legs over, and then flips around and climbs down very dramatically in the most dramatic way possible.
The interns are they impressed, or have you done this kind of thing enough that they know that this is shenanigans?
They probably know by now it's shenanigans.
Yeah.
One
of them is still impressed.
Is too much of a sensitive soul. They see the almost fall, and they're like, I have to look away. I just can't. I can't do this to my weak heart.
Yep.
All the world's a stage. That's my...
I don't think the captain's going to agree, but hey. So you guys all make it to the command deck. The captain is at what looks like almost like a more old-timey helm for the Aetherwake, with the spokes and the big wheel. Although there's other devices, there's pedals and levers around it for them to be able to, pilot the ship in almost any direction. It's as you get to the command ship, you can feel it starting to... Distance is weird in the Aetherwild, but come in lower and faster to the ground as Zane eventually hands it off to one of the interns to just keep it steady. It turns around to all of you. You're familiar with the captain by now. They are tall. They have flawless skin. They're very traditionally beautiful. They look like they're wearing almost like a pirate captain's jacket, and they have feathery hair. That's sort of their of their people. That's all red and yellow and white, as if it is the color of flames, in the shape of a cockatiel sort of crest. They're normally quite not jovial, but they're confident. They tend to smile. They'll joke around with you. They are not doing that this time. They seem quite serious. And as they look, she's like, "Did all of you read the briefing this time?"
People don't read the briefings?
There's a briefing?
The speed that like Ajax's head turns is like commonly reserved for like drawing their guns and shit, but just their head will almost like snap to you.
You hear a whir. Like the engines are working for this. Zane sort of centers himself for a minute. Knights are allowed a lot of leeway, and you are all technically kind of knights. This one is important to me. So, we are going to my home.
Is there trouble there?
Where we go, there's always some kind of trouble.
I was hoping you'd say that.
They have a sort of fiery magic in them. They have like it's basically like if you removed all the mechanical bits from a like revolver. So just like a iron rod with a curved handle that is clearly grip at their hip, and they pull it up and they sort of like sketch lines of fire in the air to demonstrate this. Usually, a realm in the realm crystal will keep out any fat fragments of dead realms from entering. That's part of how the magic is supposed to work. That seems to not have been working. We have a dungeon that has intersected the Cobalt Desert. It's our job not just to move it out, but figure out why. Thankfully, it's mostly contained from the town, but that could change at any time, and it is disrupting the stability of the realm.
So,
And we shall have to move fast. Yes, friends?
jumping and changing realms is something that all of you do often.
No,
I have
that's
seen
right.
much in my travels. Been around. The realms are beautiful places, but I still have much to see.
How many realms are there?
That is a fantastic question.
Zane looks to me. Well, there's the big three of them. There's New Avalon, the Magnolia realms, and Fox, you're gonna have to forgive me. I've forgotten the third one.
It's the Ald Isles, thank you.
Yeah, the Ald Isles. Damn, every time. I want to say Old Lang Syne every time, and it gets me. The Ald Isles. But there's countless smaller ones all over. Zane seems confused that you've asked this question, because it's something that anyone who's like lived in New Avalon or these three realms would know.
By the way, did we officially decide on a name for my home realm, or was that? 'Cause I have something, but I couldn't remember if you had.
If you got something, I've written something down. But I also think that maybe Maeve would have a different name for it than like the people who run it. I have a name for the people who run it, but
in the middle of or like in a lull of conversation, Ajax would like lean over and be like 2,875.
Really?
And then one of the interns,
very specific number.
Yeah, and one of the interns who's like traveling through here, like there's still one or two in the room. They're like, well, that's just all of the known registered realms on the New Avalon charter. There's actually any number, because we can't really know. That theoretically, they go on a long, annoying wizard explanation of like there could be anything between 200 to like 7,000.
Only all of
exactly.
the known realms.
Yeah.
Why would that matter? I am
You
confused.
gotta keep track of them.
If there are so many realms, we will simply have to see all of them. Yes?
The captain is like, regardless, today we are seeing the Cobalt Desert. And I need all of you to understand two things. One, you're right, we need to move fast to at least remove any dangers. Any of the Aetherlings in it can get out and enter my home. And two, it is my home. Please do not embarrass me.
Yes, Captain.
We will do our best.
By the way, how is that name? I posted in the KNA general. Is that name okay for the natural name? Okay, so she'll just Maeve's so a little confused with just traveling between realms on Xenoc, where I'm from, is completely off limits to anyone that is not a corporate overlord. It's highly regulated and well guarded, and it's supposed to be dangerous to the fabric of the universe, or at least that's what we're told. We had our doubts, but is it true that you can safely travel between realms without tearing a hole in the fabric of reality? Are you saying this is true? Because this is a big fucking deal, if that's true. If I take this back to Xenoc...
The captain seems to not want to answer it right away because it's not like their job. But one of the interns like, oh well, with the right mechanics and materials, this ship is designed to be extra good at it. But you can, if you know what you're doing, it's really not that hard to just pop a hole in the side. It's really the travel between them that's dangerous to like the people traveling. And again, they go on along like it's the etheric forces are going to start sort of trying to break down your arcanic structure of your body and it's stuff like that. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, sorry, I stopped listening to you. Like,
100%. You can.
She said that in character.
Yeah.
To the
intro.
So I'm sorry. This is just a lot to process, and I know we have a job to do, and I can understand and appreciate the value of home. I'm just a little overwhelmed by all this. Set course, Captain. Whatever. I just. In a minute.
Seems like. Well, you have about 15 of them.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, that just kind of shattered my whole worldview in a matter of seconds. Yeah. I just need a minute to get some hair. I know we're out in the air, but I'm just gonna go over here.
You're dismissed. Get ready. So that was the captain's announcement. You're welcome to stay in the space so long as you're out of the way, or go anywhere else in the ship. And the scene is yours for a bit, guys.
Maybe we'll
Kana's kind of watching. Sorry, please. Yeah, Kana's kind of watching Maeve leave and just. There are people who tell others they cannot travel freely?
There are a lot of strange things in this world. And I think Hayes will turn and head out of the room as well.
Indeed.
I think, Bo of the engineers had scuttled in and listened for a bit and was like fixing some dashboard of like magic sensors. Goes, yeah, I don't know where she's from, but doesn't sound pleasant. It's like fixing stuff still.
I hope friend Maeve and friend Hayes are well.
I think Ajax would just open up reopen up the window that they had entered from and crawl along the outside of the ship to get back down to the engineering bay.
Yeah. I think you travel a lot of the same paths that the
path.
Yeah, I think that you travel a lot of the same paths that the engineers do, just because that's kind of how they tend to travel. They are really good at climbing around, and they're like very flexible bodies, let them get into places. I think your sort of modular mechanical body can mostly do the same, even if you're a bit bulkier than them. They're half your size. They're shorter than Kana, like somehow.
Littlest guy.
Just a bit. You'd have to measure it. Some of the
smaller guys. There's always a smaller guy.
There's always a smaller fish.
Yeah. So you do that. As any of you are outside, you do see that the sky has become more and more this like orangish red color, like the sunset. And you're familiar that the closer you get to a realm, the more the environment of the Aether Wilds becomes like that realm. And you see the rocks, the sand below, getting sort of a darker color.
Yeah, I think having watched Ajax and Maeve and Hayes all leave, I think Kana will just kind of turn over to Cam and just... Do you believe they are bothered by something, friend Cam?
It's gonna take a while for everybody to get used to this lifestyle. Not everybody is as flexible.
Adventure is a warm fire, and some people enter from the cold.
Oh, I like that.
Kana's full of them.
Very.
Yeah, that's a great quote.
Kana-isms.
That's very well said.
He nods as if he just said something completely random and has no idea that is profound in the slightest.
All thoughts equal in the glorious mind of Kant. Or not, sorry, of Kana. Yeah. I'm still working at names too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think the odds are my bucket is still full?
Considering the squiffins outside, I believe it to be quite empty by now.
Yeah, I should have poured it over the edge before I came in here.
You can look out the window and see it. And there's like a few squiffins that are like trying to get in the bucket, but the fish you put in there are alive, and you did pick some of the weird ones. So I think there's one that almost looks kind of crustacean-y, like almost like an armored fish that's keeping the other squiffins at bay a bit.
It looks like I have just enough time, and Cam's gonna quickly stroll out.
Oh shit, my fish! Yeah.
Kana just looks back to the captain and just... Very well. If adventure shall be soon, then I will see the rest on the ground. Thank you, Captain.
They seem actually kind of warmed by this. Like, thank you. At least some of the beacons are respectful of the title and everything. I don't know, like momentary crack in their presence.
Kana turns over a little bit and just... This place is your home. There are people here you care about, yes?
Very much so, yes.
Then they will be kept safe. You have my word.
Kind of being the only one in here, Zane sort of... You should know this is the last of the test missions. All the other people pretending to be beacons have left, or have been proven otherwise. This was the last one I got to really choose. I'm just glad that I got to choose one when my home really needed it. And I appreciate the concern.
A mission fit only for true beacons, then. But I believe we are meant to find our equals. And kind of spins their practice sword over their shoulder as they kind of walk to the door. Look back at the captain. Unfortunately, in all of my long travels, I have not found I have any equals.
Captain shakes their head. Just so nice and so egotistical.
I keep thinking of the Letterkenny quote, but like Maeve wouldn't say anything like that. But you wouldn't be so keen for a fight had you ever been in one.
The problem is, Kana's been in a lot of them.
So many, actually.
That's true.
Kana just kind of looks at the captain and just...
Wine connoisseur fights.
Somewhere soon, we find something that can humble me.
Yeah, there's a chuckle.
The earned confidence is scary in the best way.
Right. It is a sommelier of confidence in combat at this point.
Yeah.
So you are free to interact with anything else in the ship, or just get ready before, like, the quest really starts. In future games, the beginning of the quest has a lot more of like fun downtime activities. This is just the warm up. Anyways, so yeah. If there's anything else you guys want to do.
Yeah, after about 10 minutes, Maeve will go from the aft to the stern and just sort of slowly, as the sky begins to change and it gets more fiery and orange as sort of we approach the transition portal, seeing it up close is not really something she has ever done other than the one time she was forcibly pushed through a portal to get here. And she will just kind of like slowly put her arms out and walk towards the prow. Yeah.
I think, unless there's something anyone else wants to do before we enter the realm, I think this is an interesting moment to have. So yeah, you have a sense of sort of the edges of the protective barrier of the ship. Just your magical senses sort of tell you where that's at. And even will extend a bit beyond that. You can feel the roiling aether just outside this ship. Even if it looks like open sky, you know it's actually just chaos. What is that sense like for Maeve? How would Maeve process this magical sense of distance and space and barriers?
Seeing things kind of warp around her, you can see just with her arms out, she's going right up to the tip of the bow where the bow meets the prow, and just kind of like puts one foot on the prow and just kind of leans forward, arms still spread out. You can see she's terrified. She's shaking, but she's trusting her companions around her that they're just kind of comfortable and doing their own things. For everyone else, it seems to be like popping through a portal. But like she was saying before, the vibe that everyone else is getting is that, and Kana pointed it out, that magic, especially portals and any type of inter-realm transit, is strictly controlled, regulated, almost to a tyrannical measure, which is something that she's lived through, but you're all kind of picking up on that now, and you can see it in her fear and uncertainty. And right, I think, at the event horizon of passing through the portal, she just looks over her shoulder, and you can see her eyes are just teared up. Not like full ugly cry, just a little bit of just, you can see like tears starting to well. She's trying to control it as she just immerses herself in the beauty of this world, and even in traveling through an open and accessible portal, the beauty of that shift in reality is completely overwhelming for her.
Yeah. I think, like, Maeve has been on, let's say, like, 2 or 3 missions now with the beacons. Like, she arrived a little late. But mostly those have been on the prepared and solid, like, pathways between realms, and it hasn't even really entered another realm. And there's no sensation to that. That's basically like someone has just made a tunnel. And
she was fascinated by that too.
Yeah. And even exiting those pathways, the edges are fuzzy. It doesn't have as much of a sensation of this. And you've been mostly in the ship that is very protected by this. You feel more than you see a moment where like the ship's bubble interacts with another one, and it doesn't look like anything in that moment. But to anyone with magical senses, it feels like your idea of what the world is supposed to be is being pushed. Like you can feel the idea of a ship and a sky and air. Your thoughts are being moved by this. And then there's some tension, and then almost like a snap. And suddenly the world is different. The sky is now that deep red and orange. The ground below you is no longer a sort of dark, ruddy red with some black spots. It is a vibrant steel blue. There are rocky outcroppings that are a deep, deep purple, and the grasses are red and almost, we would say, like savanna-like. There's low trees and high grasses. I think you see the squiffins on your ship are fine, but suddenly the little creatures that you could see at times are almost like feathered reptiles flying or walking. And without having to be told, or even if you didn't know the name, you think you might have just picked it up because it enters your head. You are in the Cobalt Desert. And I think this might be a great place to take a little break, guys.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. We'll see you guys all in like, 15 minutes, you think?
10-15 sounds solid.
Yeah, we'll play a bit here.
Oh, great. And that was
Don't leave us.
Thank you, Tate.
Be back in a minute. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Twitch, and hello, Internet. Welcome back to Knights of New Avalon, the Beacon Odyssey, where our players are taking their first steps into their legend. When we left, they had just entered the realm of the Cobalt Sands, or the Cobalt Desert, excuse me, where they have been told that there is a dungeon, a sort of structure of a leftover realm that had managed to get stuck in a realm, and the captain's realm, home realm in particular. And so you are now here in this space as the airship Aetherwake has just entered the Cobalt Desert. The colors are so opposite of what you are used to in most realms. Here, I'm going to do that. And there is a stiff breeze of these blue sands whipping around. You see these sort of feathered dinosaur creatures that are sort of the native wildlife. As the ship sort of comes around on an arc. To the right, you see what is the town for this realm, and there's some structures. If you're sharp-eyed, you might even see the realm crystal at the center of it, but you are turning away from it. As you head over an outcropping, there's some... You see it like a large stone outcropping, and there's someone on there that seems to send up a flare that the captain sees, and then adjusts and starts heading down towards the ground. The place you're landing, to your magical senses, you realize is sort of the edge of this realm, and there are a lot of... It's like someone has exploded pieces of armor. And there's these craters, all leading from one spot and then vanish. Just nothing that you can see. As you sort of land, and the ship puts out landing gear and lands on the sand, you see what looks like a little red, like wingless dragon creature, what we would call a Cobalt, but clearly not all together there. Their eyes are blank and their scales seem to have fire coming out of it. It dashes, again, from out of nowhere at the ship, and then a beam of fire projecting a small stone from that outcropping snipes its way into this Cobalt, and then it explodes in a violent, like, fiery blast that you can tell comes almost more from the Cobalt than the bullet. It's just as you land that the captain comes out of the command center, looks at that work, and says, "All right, she's not going to be able to hold them there for long. You guys need to get rid of the Aetherlings, and you," pointing to Hayes, "in particular need to then put them to rest afterwards so that they don't keep coming. As long as there's this hole in the side of the realm, it's not going to be perfect forever, but at this point, she's been there for a few hours. She's not going to be able to keep doing this forever."
Understood.
Captain says, "I'm going to be here to help for anything that gets past you. And I believe the interns," this is why you call them the interns. Zane does not care about their names and has only introduced them as such. The interns apparently also have a additional task that they wanted to ask you. Most of them, 4 of them of the 5, seem to be putting gear, and they're already getting out of the ship, and they're putting it up as like these complex sensors pointing at the spot that the Cobalt came out of. But one of them, a young woman in what is like seen as fashionable in New Avalon, there's like a lot of these magical nodes and lines that sort of imitate jewelry around her head. And she says, "We were hoping that you guys could maybe bring some, or save some, like historical documents or artwork or anything you find in there. This is a part of some realm that fell apart, and we do want to make sure that maybe it's not some part of their history or their magical technology or something like that that's caused this. This is a bit of an anomaly for this to happen. So it would be really helpful if you guys could do that."
So, point of order, realms can collapse and detach from their anchor points and collide and smash into other realms? Is that kind of what's happening? The purpose for us sort of existing as beacons? Is that common?
This intern, she's like, "There's so much that we don't have time. I promise if you want to talk afterwards, I will talk your ear off about all of the details of that. But basically, yes, that happens sometimes. No, that's not your purpose as beacons. This is something knights do. And no, this is not common for it to happen into someone else's realm. That part's weird. Any exception to the rule, you can say it's magic. It's impossible to predict. But we want to make sure it's not just chaos. And it's not something that like caused it on purpose or something we got to be worried about. So
Are
anything
we
you can find
sealing?
would be very helpful.
Are we sealing this rift as well?
We are clearing it out first.
You do have to clear it out.
Sealing.
And we'll help you with that. It's probably going to be a little more complicated than normal. But yeah, that's...
Well, I'm glad we have the rest of the crew to fill in the technical gaps because I'm a little lost.
Don't worry. If I had to do your job, I would be more than lost.
Well, that's why we're a team.
What is being lost but hoping to find your way?
Mm-hmm.
Come, friends. Let's philosophy. More adventuring.
Hana, you have these amazing quotes that I'm not even kidding. These are great.
Thank you.
You should write them down.
Completely lost.
You should make a little notebook. Write them down. They're good. It
I
could
will
be
consider
a
that.
collection of inspirational pre-battle sayings, isms, whatever.
I don't believe I've ever inspired anyone. I just exist to have fun.
I imagine this conversation is as both of you, as you're both like acrobatic, are just like easily flipping down like the ladder off the side of the ship as it's landed, just casually.
Maeve does
Come
a
then,
little
friends.
spin, like,
We are burning
one
daylight.
leg out around the last rung of the ladder. Just like a little suspended hula work, just at the last bit there.
Hayes will descend the ladder very
Ajax.
normally.
Yeah, Cam's also just gonna climb down the ladder.
Normal ass person, you weird acrobatic fucks.
Not only does Maeve sit like a gay, but Maeve also uses ladders like a gay.
And Kana has
Dramatically
ADHD.
and not the way it's meant to.
Correction.
That's
Kana
true.
is ADHD.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ajax will not use the ladder like at all. They will just walk like, almost off of the ship, like up and over like the guardrail,
Yeah, the side.
and
Yeah.
almost Titanfall just slam into the dirt.
Yeah, I imagine there's almost like a burst of like magical energy to like catch you in the fall.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not like a really tall ship, so it's not like really going to be a danger to you. But yeah, you find yourself all on the floor of the desert, and it's to your magical senses obvious that there is, similar to when that moment the realm ship entered this realm, a sort of hole. And when you're sitting there and you're looking right, it's like you can see into a completely different environment, a place that is wet and craggy and stony, that you can't really see a lot of details in yet. So, what you guys gonna do?
This place seems so ancient. So delicate.
You're entering the ruin, the dungeon.
Indeed.
Yeah.
No place to go
Yeah.
but forward.
The area that's wet, craggy, stony, is that this realm, or is that the dungeon realm that crashed in?
Yeah, I'm saying right now you can see the hole in this realm, in the sands, in the desert. And when you look through that hole, you can see wet, craggy something. But until you get through, not more details.
Maeve is like shook by this, and like seeing the drastic contrast will just like, oh, that's fucking weird.
Live as long
the
as I
sand
do,
around this
you will
hole
see
is
much
damp.
weirder.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you get used to
Just-
weird, unfortunately.
Something to look forward to.
Indeed.
Yeah.
New experiences.
As you enter this place, you see is a massive labyrinthian castle. There's a lot of the architecture doesn't seem to make sense to you. Like there's towers where there doesn't need to be, and passageways between them that have broken in some places, and it's all on top of what seems like the peak of a mountain in not a storm, but it is raining lightly. If you've ever been to Seattle, the Seattle Spit, that's what's going on. It's just like misting at you constantly. And you can see, you don't see any aetherlings, these sort of random creatures that represent what the people in this place used to think of or make as like their mythic figures or their guardians or their people. But you can sense that they're around, and you do know that with a certain amount of like trying to sense them magically or understand this place, you should be able to find the ones that you need to get in some way or like figure out a strategy.
Kana kind of looks around and sniffs at the air a little bit. The magic here is wild like a midsummer festival. I am excited.
Well, let's...
Midsummer. Go ahead, Egg. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. I was gonna say, well, let's all mind our projectiles, make sure we don't destroy anything that might be of interest to those interns.
I assure you that will be a little problem to me.
What's a midsummer festival? Is it sort of
In
like
my
celebrating the equinox? Because that's what we do in our circles.
Yes, I imagine the two are similar. In my home, each year is a passing of a new time, a chance to revisit your path, reconsider your doll. As such, we celebrate every year for those who have changed, found new purpose, or otherwise become different.
That sounds incredibly familiar, but you gather together with lots of people?
Indeed. The whole isle, the isles come together. There's celebration and food and gathering, so many lights.
I would love to see that. We have to celebrate in secret. In dark
That
tunnels.
sounds less than fun. Should we end up in your home, I would hope we can change that.
Now you're speaking my language.
I would love someone to roll me something about like sensing your environment, especially if it's magical. I'm not as familiar with your sheets.
I'll roll with my one with the world background skill.
Yeah, go for it.
Does that adds an accuracy per?
Yes, accuracy per rank.
Correct. Okay. And then we also add our grit. All right. So many dice. That's gonna be a 19.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. You, as this conversation is happening and you're sort of getting your bearings, you sense something is coming. The similar to that like little red explosive cobalt, there's another one nearby. You can sense it around a corner behind some rubble that's waiting to strike. It's fiery, sort of close enough to a consciousness for Jazz. Like it's not really like fully aware, but it is angry and volatile. It is a volatile dragonling. A dragonling is what it's called, and it's about to jump out at somebody as you guys are just talking.
Careful. There's an enemy up ahead, waiting in ambush.
That's enough of a warning that this thing's going to pop around a corner if one of you guys want to do something to deal with it, and we'll start getting into the... Yeah.
I'm going to roll with my Student of the Sundancer Technique background skill.
Yeah.
That's going to be a d20 plus 2 accuracy plus just plus 1 for my grit.
Mhm.
So, here we go. It's 12, 17, 18 in total.
Yeah. It's easy. How do you take this thing out, knowing that it'll blow up when you get too close, or when you hit it?
I think it's honestly pretty straightforward of like, this thing leaps out and like Kana has already flexed into his hand 2 like hard light daggers, which he just kind of like slashes in the air like several feet from this thing, kind of like creates a series of slashes in the air, and as they land he just kind of stops and pushes his hand out. Third dance, Oleander Dervish, and like sort of blades of hard light just lash out around this thing and just slice this thing into ribbons several feet from him.
It's far enough because you rolled real well. You hit it with this light dagger and it explodes in a fiery burst of scales and a sort of a high-pitched equivalent of a roar, of a dragon's roar.
Kana stands there, bright smile on his face. They will have to do better than that.
Well, that'll certainly do it for the element of surprise, but while we're here, I suggest Kana take point.
Come then, friends! Let's go forward! And Kana just takes off running.
And
Right behind you.
I think with those rolls, Cam, you can sort of continue on that one roll to sense where these creatures are, and Foxy, you can sort of deal with them as they come. What is your guys' strategy for clearing this place out?
Are we clearing sort of like the outside around the ruins in like this little sort of craggy, rainy area, this little mini pocket dimension? Are we like outside of the actual dungeon right now?
Yeah, so the dungeon's
Okay.
technically everything in this bubble, both the outside of the building and the inside of the building. And you can
Oh,
tell where the
okay.
edges of the building are. Heck, you can see that the architecture looks like it extends past the bubble, and you know if you were walking there, as soon as you were outside of it, you'd be in the Aether Wild, and it would just start getting weird and inconsistent. But right now, nothing is changing shape. It is the shape it is, because it is one of these dungeons. And it's not huge. It's still, big. Like, it's bigger than your ship.
Well, we've already gone loud. We might as well just find everything outside of this dungeon, take care of it, and then make our way in.
Yeah.
I like the way you think, friend Maeve.
I like the way you make flashy dances and get the job done.
Kind of blushes a bit, actually. He's not used to being complimented.
It's flashy, but it works, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, Cam
So-
is just gonna walk around, kind of like pointing with his needle at like where the enemies are for Kana to deal with.
Yeah. I would also love if someone else wants to sense in like a wider range where Cam is dealing with like the individual ones that are coming after you guys, or some sort of like searching to sort of get a lay of the land for the building and where you might want to go.
I think Ajax would probably do that.
Mhm. Yeah, do you have a skill for like
analyzing the
architecture or
structure.
building?
I've got number cruncher.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's fair. Does the table agree of like that's sort of him doing the math of this place almost?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen.
Joke's on you, Tate. We have our team
Statistic
autist.
Yeah.
I was hoping. I'm here in your corner, man.
Nerds are my favorite nerds, and it's so good. I don't have the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I see your
So I appreciate
autism
the heck out
rivals
of it.
mine.
Yeah.
I got a 17.
Yeah, that's a full success, right? I don't have the number right in front of me.
Yes. Anything above a 12 is a success. Anything above 20 is a crit.
That's right, 12. Yeah, so you, Ajax, you sort of are looking at this architecture, and you've helped build a lot of stuff. You, for one, are critiquing how impractical a lot of this is. But I think you also sort of notice the larger castle structure that you assume people like lived in is far more dilapidated. It's falling apart. You think you even see that most of the creatures that are coming at you, between what you and Cam are doing, you can tell that the ones running at you are coming from there, and it's mostly these kobolds. You run into one or two sort of animated pieces of armor that have a shield and a spear that are not as easy to kill, but I think that the Kana's roll is high enough that because there's only one or two of them, it's not like a problem. Kind of think you have a fun time fighting those instead of just killing them in one shot. Yeah, they seem quite skilled, but there's just like one of them at a time. But I think
They are trying
Ajax,
harder. Good.
Yeah, but I think Ajax, you notice there's one building that's actually really well put together, and it's like still has lights on. Is this tower to the side that is almost completely separate from these buildings? It once had a pathway between the top of the tower to the rest of it that has long since collapsed. And when you point this out to Cam in particular, Cam, you can feel there are quite a few of these Aetherlings in there.
Seems like the vast majority of these are gathered in that building over there.
Shall we fell it?
I could not agree more. Ready yourselves, friends.
Well, if we're on pest extermination duty, let's get to it.
Yeah, how are you gonna get to this tower? How are you gonna approach this? I want to know sort of just some details before I just plop you in.
Kana kind of
Ajax's
looks up at the
idea-
tower and just... Friend Hayes, how far can you throw?
Hayes will look at their arms. You can't tell because of the large robes that they wear, but their arms are on the more stick-like side, perhaps. I can try.
That's fine. Simply hold your arms out.
And they will comply.
Kana stands back for a second. leaps up, does a couple of front flips, lands in Hayes' arms, and just springboards off of them to get as high as he can.
Hayes is knocked back slightly. Ah!
Yeah, what do you guys want to roll to see how well this does, and then tell me what is the purpose of this?
My roll is obviously going to use my sprightly tumbler. I think Kana just wants to kind of get. I mean, if we're going to a tower, then Kana wants to make sure he has like a nice, easy approach angle from it. Also, because it's fun as fuck.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just gonna say, yeah, there's a front door you can enter, but you can do this towards like a window.
Who goes through the front door?
Doors are for people with no imagination.
Cam is gonna go through the front door.
But first, we're doing this.
But first, protagonist vibes. Okay, cool. I've got let's see, only a 7 on the die, which an 8 is my grit, but then I got a 6 on my accuracy.
Oh, damn! All right.
Okay.
So that's more than 12.
Nice.
All right, damn. Although I do want Hayes to roll me something to not accidentally send Kana in the wrong direction.
I don't think I really have anything to benefit me here, so I shall simply roll plus grit.
If you think you got some magic that you could justify helping, but I don't know. If you want to come up with a magical way you do this, but if it is just with your arms, then yeah, just roll plus grit.
I think it's just with my arms. So I got 12.
Wow, well, look, you got a 12. You meets it, beats it. You got it. You managed to at least not redirect Kana in the wrong way. I do think you probably get a sense that a lot of this was Kana being good at this.
Yeah.
So yeah, you these windows aren't large, but you're small. You can make it through one of them if you want to sort of like peek in and get a look before everyone else bursts in the front door.
I think he's gonna land up top and kind of like look in and look backward. I think I found them.
You don't say.
Yeah. You know what? Unless you were attempting to be stealthy when you say that, I think we might move y'all over to the combat map.
I love combat maps.
Yeah.
Cool.
Maeve is kind of letting Kana just do their thing, and their thing seems to have been working so far, and the go get 'em attitude is I mean, there should be one frontliner that does that. So she's very relaxed.
The smallest guy possible. Absolutely.
Yep.
She's definitely more relaxed about kind of almost encouraging Kana to go and get things started. She and I, as the player, are also kind of working on the Final Fantasy logic that they actually talk about it in the Final Fantasy VII remake, where a lot of these monsters and like aetherlings are essentially like sort of invasive or overpopulated pests, and that are sort of sometimes just super dangerous to local settlements and that kind of thing, and that they're just sort of like that's the general idea. So
Kana, you can place yourself basically on any of these torches around, because I think there's one like under each window. And you are above the bookshelves. The bookshelves are going to be, I think, they're actually quite tall. This is only got like 2 floors maybe, and this library is the bottom one. You thought you were coming up at this like 2nd or 3rd floor with that window jump. No, they're just real tall bookshelves. So they're like full 3 cover. But the rest of you, you're at the front doors. You see a lot of these knights here. They are an empty knight is the name of this creature. You also see there's these sort of constructs. Ajax, you don't recognize the design. They're not based off of any Reborn design, but they do still have like a logic that you understand as mechanical in nature. There's 2 of them. Those are Arcanastructs, what they're called. And the little kobolds up here, they are the unstable dragonlings. And you also see there's these sort of blue cloaked figures with crossbows. They're also mechanical, but they seem to be able to stand in the air. They don't have to be standing on anything at any time. They have full flight, and they are called a clockwork wind bolt. You seem to think that everything but the dragonlings are basically the defense systems for these people. And I can give you more detail on what they are, but the dragonlings and the wind bolts, they only have 1 HP, they only have 1 stress. They're minions, so they're going to go down in one hit. So that's why they don't have a health bar.
Okay.
I think you also see particularly the Arcanastructs and the Empty Knights. They seem to be going around and destroying books. And so these little symbols here, those are places you have to go to get to books to save them before one of the other creatures do.
Interesting.
And if we're ready, then
I'm pretty ready.
we're starting combat.
Oh boy.
All right.
Let's crack some heads, folks.
Oh,
All
goody.
right.
Go.
Oh, no. Sorry, I am still making sure I have. Anyone
Oh,
want
the
to do something for
enemies
initiative
don't go
one?
before us this time. Thank God.
Well, anyone doing initiative one?
Initiative.
So what's
Yeah, let me-
what are we rolling for in it?
You're not rolling for initiative. It's
No.
based on the action you pick.
Yeah, we never.
Oh,
yeah, you
right,
never roll for
okay.
initiative games. It's
Yeah.
based on what phase you're acting in.
Okay.
I gotta think.
So here, the first phase, if you're going to
That's
defend or refresh, you will go first.
Usually only Hayes' territory, so unless you want to go first.
No, I'm good for now.
All right, then. What are
Oh,
those?
we
I
gotta
get-
put
I
down
get so
our
much-
ley lines.
I get so much focus that
Oh,
I don't
yes,
really...
ley lines.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, I was gonna say I get so much focus that I don't think I really need to spend my first action defending right now.
True.
I'm okay.
Unless you want to build up some just to have it.
I think I'd... Well... Yeah, no.
Okay.
So yeah, ley lines. Maeve, do you want to put down yours first?
Sure.
For the players at home, we have two different characters that have this leyline ability to set up spaces that they get bonuses.
We're
For
gonna
people
put down
being
so many
in order
fucking
enemies.
circles.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Every
look like an
combat, it's
Olympics
just
logo.
Circle City.
Yeah.
It's like a goddamn Audi dealership. There's so many circles here.
See the circle here? That's my zone.
2-1.
You don't want to go in that circle over there. I tell you what.
Don't let me get in my.
Oh,
No.
so, I'm definitely in my zone.
As a follow-up question, before I start putting anything down, are these bookshelves tall enough to be cover?
Yeah, they're like cover 3.
Okay.
They're tall. You need a
Okay.
ladder to get up these. That's what these markers really are, is just spots where you see unburned books that you do have to use an
Gotcha.
action to do because none of them are like easily reached.
Okay.
Full action or a minor action?
I think object interactions are a minor action.
Yes, they
It's
are
whatever.
usually
Yeah,
full. That's what I was making sure. Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
So yeah,
I'm
Don't
trying to
wanna
put
lay those-
down spell effects, but doesn't look like they're
I think you just draw them as a circle. It's probably easier than
Yeah.
yeah, because I have them. I don't know why they're not. Unless like I have to be the GM to do that.
No, you should be able to if you just do them as like it's like a drawing an ellipse. You should be able to do it.
Yeah. I was hoping to put down the actual cool ones that have like starlight that swirl around.
Ooh.
I
Like,
see.
I bought
Oh, you were in
those
the
and I
fancy-
If
own
you make it
them.
as a token, I'm pretty sure Tate should be able to give you control of it. If you drop it, I don't. That might be a thing to figure out later though.
yeah.
So
Unless I can
will-
find.
How do I erase? I drew a circle.
You can just
You
highlight it
draw a
and then
circle
delete
down.
it.
How big is the circle
Use-
again?
It's blast 1, yes.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that's
should be
a
a
four
Or it should
3 by
cover, it should
3.
cover a 3x3 box of circles or
3 by
of squares. Yeah.
All right. 3x3. Got one there.
Oh, I see.
And we'll do some cover. Oops, this is the wrong one. We'll do another one behind the cover here. And for our frontliners, I can't remember. Did they get a did the enemies get a benefit from being in it too?
Nope.
No.
At
depending
higher
on
ranks,
your
they actually
build, but
get
generally
they
not.
actually get damaged by being, or like hurt by being in it at higher ranks of the talent.
Oh yeah. 3. Okay. All right.
All right.
Let's put mine there. One for our frontliners, one with cover, and another right in front of the door where we're at.
Oh, I love where that middle one is. I'm going right there.
I thought you might like that.
All right.
And yeah, so these look like the voids of stars almost, and standing in them feels like
Yeah,
almost being in your
I
home
have
realm
that.
again.
I have the stars. Hold on.
We'll try to find it later. But yeah, for narrative purposes, I think that standing in it feels almost like being home for good and for bad. For you, like it's like being in a void of stars again.
All right, and I will put down mine. Oh, that's not the. Whatever. One there. We'll put one. Say. Another one here. And last one. There. And Cam's, on the other hand, you see like faint golden clouds appear above each of these locations with a fine mist falling from them. And if you stand in one, it smells like... I mean, it smells like rain, obviously. But it also is almost a calming presence in the midst of what is about to be a chaotic battle.
Yeah. All right. Well, since no one is going to do something for phase 1, you see this guy move into behind one of these bookshelves. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another one there. And they both are going to... I remember exactly how to do this. Scope 10, line 3. Both of these constructs seem to have almost like a dual elemental nature. Their arms seem fiery, but their body seems almost more like solid and earthy. So one of them is going to make a line 3 zone into hard cover. I just gotta... Now I gotta draw shapes because I don't have... And
It's the lines and circles, baby. It's always lines and circles.
Many
They are
circles.
artists.
Darn it, give me a second. I'm gonna use a different color for that.
And the circles are our canvas.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he can do that. And so there's like a... I think that's how that's supposed to... And it went back to the wrong color. Whatever.
That's fine.
Wait.
Doesn't matter. Yes.
And so that is considered a full cover. The other one, though, 1, 2,
So cool.
3, 4, 5. Again, that's why I want to change the color.
And just
The
a
other
little-
seems to be made of fire.
Just a little point
Pick
of
up.
flavor. I know you said it was like starlight, but for everyone in the audience, what Maeve will do is she will just kind of slightly levitate off the ground, sort of one knee up, and her eyes will sort of gloss over with this sort of inky blackness, and she will just raise her hands up, and as they do, this very reminiscent of the ferrofluid from Catalyst, will kind of bubble up at the ground, and as the shadows from that sort of bubbling oil slick sort of ferrofluid looking material will sort of bubble up into like a dark shadowy smoke, and then in between there is that starscape, that sort of deep void starscape, and you can see like little swirls of purple from nebulas in there as well in each of the ley lines.
Sick. Tate, just to understand correctly, the rectangular spaces that are full cover, is it full cover if they're standing inside of that space, or it's like a wall in line of sight?
This is a wall in line of sight.
Okay.
The red one is just like a fiery space. Like they've just lit the floor on fire.
Got you.
Yeah, that is their turn. All right, so then the next stage, and apologies that I don't have these memorized.
It's phase 2.
Channel.
Which is,
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyone going to cast a spell that they're going to start now?
I totally forgot. Thank you for reminding me. But I just moved it over a little bit.
Yeah, it
Just
doesn't really
outside
matter
area.
that much right now, especially. Yeah.
No channeling for me.
All right, then
Let's channel
they're not going to do
mine.
anything.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me double check.
Just to double check while you're checking that,
Mhm.
can you move at the start of your turn, or does it have to be after like the turn action part?
You can
do
move
it
whenever
at
you
any-
want during your turn.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I couldn't-
your main
You can
action
even
is what
split your
determines.
movement with an
Yeah, you
action
can
if you
split
want. You
your
can move
movement.
some steps and then do an action and then keep moving.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
We're doing it.
the phase
I
you're in is
will-
just your main action. You can do it in whatever order once you're in there.
There is a lot of
thought so,
enemies
but I
here,
wasn't
so as she's levitating, she will also like see this many constructs or skeletons that they look like skeletons or zombies, and she will just be like, "Oh fuck this!" And she just kind of begins to like conjure another sort of ferrofluid-looking orb around her hands that also has this element of almost like a nebula swirling around it, like it has a ring of purple light around this sort of inky darkness as and she's going to start to channel an exobomb.
But yeah, these are like, some of them are empty armor, some of them are mechanical. The only ones that are kind of zombie-like are the kobolds, and it's more like they're bursting at the seams with fire.
Ew.
Exobomb still stands.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's still a good
Yes.
strategy for obliterating these things.
Yeah. There is a lot of things in here.
Oh, yeah. All right. Anyone going to do something for Skirmish 3, where there's Mark, Search, or Volley?
I will.
Cool.
Yes, I will volley.
And also it looks like Egg will as well. But yeah,
Do you want
you
to
do need
Whatever
to
order
sort
we
of...
want to go. Sorry,
Yeah, whatever.
You can go.
Alrighty. How far can I move? I don't.
Your speed.
That'll
Yeah,
be
it
your
should equal to your speed.
Speed. Okay, 5 thingies.
5 things.
So that'd be 25
my
feet.
favorite.
Yes, 5 squares.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that works.
Okay. So yeah, Ajax will kind of real door kicker style.
Yeah.
Just walk in and start just on their plates on their thighs. The outer side will kind of just pop out almost, and the handle of both of the shard gun pistols will
RoboCop
kind of
shit. I'm here.
raise up, and they will just start with, let's see, how far
You'll be shooting, huh?
Yeah, just almost immediately. I think that one's out of range for the revolver.
There's a little guy up
It
here.
is. Yeah. Light. Yes. Yeah, range 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll start shooting that guy with the light linked shardgun revolvers.
Yeah.
And then,
Implying you'll need both shots for this guy.
well, it's because it's this, as a single weapon slot, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, you
Yeah.
can shoot them both. Go for it. I'm not
Yeah.
saying don't. I'm just saying you're gonna die to the first one probably.
Yeah. 'Cause let's see, we roll to hit, correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
1d20 plus grit.
D20 plus grit. That is an 11. First.
So these guys have a 12 dodge.
That would. Remember, Chouse, we do have the reroll table, so you could take one of the options on the reroll table if you want to. If you want to just reroll that. You also have 2 shots. If you want to shoot the other gun, you can shoot the other gun
for the other one.
Yeah. I'll just shoot the other one. That is a 13.
Yeah, that's gonna hit, and they have 1 HP. So this is the other one you're hitting over here on the left.
Don't think you can
Hitting
reach
the one in the
Yeah, I
center.
think you can reach him. Yeah, I think you can reach him. Yeah, it's a little far.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he gets got. He's gone.
Yeah.
You see the mechanical bits sort of like fly around as you just burst this thing apart with a single shot. They're not built sturdy.
Alrighty.
Built different, built worse.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
built different, as in terrible.
Let's see. And then I don't think there's anything more I can do. Because
Unless you have any minor actions you want to do.
That'd be cool. I don't think that there's anything.
2
I can
weapon
really
fighting,
interact with.
you could use a different light weapon if any of them have range. I don't know if any of your light weapons have range
I don't
at this
think
point.
They have
Yeah, they don't.
range over 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
no.
A thing you should do though, because you just shot with 2 reloading weapons, is trigger your fast reload. So pick one of your weapons you just shot and roll a die. On a 6, you don't unload it.
Yeah. Let's see.
Remember, you can also spend mana if you want to increase the roll by +1 for each mana you spend if you want to increase the roll.
Yeah. I've rolled a d6. I got a 5. I'll go ahead and spend the MP to make it a 6.
So that means 2 things happen. Sorry for walking you through your
There
sheet.
you go. You know more than I do.
We built this together, so I know how this works. So 2 things happen for you. 1, fast reload pops. So one of your shotgun revolvers is now reloaded. It's fine. 2, because you've reloaded a weapon, stare down procs. So for that shotgun revolver you reloaded, you now have quick draw. So as a reaction, once per round, if someone within range or reach of that gun attacks, you can just shoot them with that pistol. So if someone comes in within range 5 and attacks anybody, you can just shoot them as a free action if you want.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Keep in mind, it's before they attack. So, if it's like one of the minion guys, you could just be like, are you gonna shoot? Blow, never mind, you're dead, fuck you.
Are you gonna shoot? Actually, you're not.
Actually, you're dead.
Yeah. Also, these are vulture minion constructs, or what those are. I'm supposed to tell you guys like all the templates. The kobolds are draconic, expendable minions, so there's gonna be a lot of them in a minute. And the knights are construct gladiators, and the arcana structs are elementalist constructs.
Sick.
Anyways.
Interesting.
Yeah. So after that, I'm sorry, I'm having to jump around a bunch of dudes.
You got it.
What's the range on these motherfuckers? Range of 8. Oh. I need to roll something real quick to decide how smart these things are.
No worries.
Oh, and I had also set a minor action to channel Night. By the way.
Sounds good.
I think I just have to say it.
Yeah.
But she's like levitating, and there's like that magic is already surrounding her. So Moon 1 minor action.
Okay. Yeah, so this guy does not notice the fact that you can shoot him as a react. He doesn't know what your range is. He just saw you shoot his friend. So he has actually moved fairly closer to you, but he is in the air above you. And he is attempting to shoot you and Kana, since he gets to shoot 2 people.
Okay.
So if you'd like to, but there's going to be more people moving in a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pop that.
I say just shoot. Just pop. Fuck it.
Yeah. With stare down, yeah. And then that is a 13 plus grit, 14.
Yeah. You fully hit this guy, and he sort of dances through the air as if he weighs nothing, and is actually standing upside down as he points a crossbow, and you see the bolt is about to split and hit 2 people, and you say, no.
Like,
Counterpoint, gun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move it. 1, 2, 3. If he enters this, do we have a height on this? On the ley lines?
I don't think.
It doesn't matter. It's just if you are over the area, it counts. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Cool. Anything happens when he enters that?
Nope. Not
No.
yet.
5, 6,
Not at all.
7. And then I think you are in range, Kana, of this, but yeah, just in range. But you are not. So yeah, you get Kana's gonna get 2 shots thrown at him.
Okay.
With a double crossbow, which is versus dodge. Let's see how this goes. Uh, 16 and a 9.
16 hits, 9 does not. How much damage does it do?
It does 4 physical.
Cool. I'm gonna do a thing. 4 isn't that bad. It's fine. I'm gonna pop one of my abilities as for my Phantom Armory. I'm gonna roll the damage of one of my Phantom Armory profiles and break that, and I'll reduce the damage I take by that amount. I'm gonna pick my Artifact Etheric profile, so I'm gonna roll 1d6 damage. What do you know? I rolled a 4. I take no damage.
Hey. Yeah, so what does that look like when this bolt of light energy comes screaming at you?
It's literally just kind of like spinning and manifesting a blade in hard light and just slashing straight through the crossbow bolt. It hits hard enough to also shatter the hard light blade kind of makes. You just kind of see look through directly at this guy, beaming with a smile while shards of hard light kind of just scatter about his face and just not bad. Try harder.
No reaction. This thing does not have that kind of awareness. The rest of them move, but none of them are within range to do much about it at this moment, and they don't want to use any of their special stuff yet. So, anyways, that will lead us to the next phase.
Weren't you also?
I would also like to volley. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You should have done that first. Excuse me.
No, it's okay.
Well, technically, it would have been back and forth. So
It's
it would have
back and
been.
forth.
Oh, it is
It
back
would
and
have
forth.
been
Okay.
Chouse, one of your guys, and then Hayes.
Yeah.
I will
okay.
move up 3, and I will volley at yonder green fella. I forgot what they're called.
Wow, you got range. Good
Yeah,
God.
I do. With
From
my
the
forbidden
free throw
tome. Let me do
From
a little
downtown, Kobe.
Oh, that's so
Dang.
good.
Oh.
4 plus 1 is 5.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit.
Let's see.
Reroll table.
Unless you want to re-roll. They got a dodge
shall
at 12.
What of these do I want to take? You know what? I'll take the gamble. I'll take some strain. 1d3 stress.
Yours
Okay.
is etheric though, right? So it's against their
My damage?
A
A
defense.
defense.
Oh, it
You're-
is. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Yes, it is etheric.
Their A defense is 8.
Well, I was
Thought
still
that would've
too
missed, I
low,
think.
so it was still 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me roll my strain really quick. That is a 6, so that will be 3 stress. To re-roll. I lost the gamble. That's unfortunate.
That's all right.
16 this time.
Yeah, it's fully gonna hit.
Alright, so we got 1d.
What's it look like as you obliterate this guy?
Oh, yeah, true.
He has 1 health. It doesn't matter what you roll.
I imagine Hayes will open up this large leathered book, and as it opens, dust kind of rises from the pages, which will form into this spirit wisp, which will trickle across the floor and
Mhm.
snare the legs of the creature and pull it down into the ley line.
Yeah, because it's flying. It's not on the ground, so this thing reaches up your spell and yanks it down, and it just smashes into the ground in bits of gears and armor. Its crossbow shattering and the light that was held within it bursting around. Yeah.
And
But yeah, I don't have anyone else to move, so you finish. Sorry.
Yeah,
You
I
go.
will minor action to summon a tombstone, and then that will be my turn. Let me double check. I want to put it here. Oh, that was a bad one. We can continue.
We gotta get you a little,
Yeah.
little symbol for those. We gotta,
Yeah,
we gotta, we
I
gotta, we
know.
gotta,
You just
Yeah. What are your
tell me where to
tombstones
put
look
it.
like?
Yeah, so the tombstone, it will kind of be like a rift of energy pouring out from the ground as this, like, almost like a tornado of spirits will start collecting in this area. It will kind of like glow and pulse.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then we got a. I don't have anyone else that does 3, so 4. Reposition, rush, or hide.
nah. Oh
I'll
wait,
rush. Why not?
Yeah.
hands fucking smoothing.
Yeah.
Cam
Cam's
rushes
Putting the
in.
boots on.
I'm gonna rush and I'm just gonna go and save this book.
Yeah.
If anything, Cam runs through one ley line into his own and then sees a book on a high shelf, and instead of, running up and grabbing it, uses his fishing line to just kind of snag it off the bookshelf, grabs it out of the air and goes, "That's one down." The interns will like this. Whatever it is.
Right.
He's like,
We are
kinda
gathering
looking at
books.
the book.
I forgot. Thank you, friend Cam.
Oh, you know what?
I have lost where you are. Are you under this one?
I think it's under.
Okay.
All right.
Layers.
I should have put that on the map. Layers. Well, man. Anyways,
That's all good.
Yeah.
Happens.
I think it is actually kind of like a few of them because it's like a patch where it hasn't been rotted or burned or destroyed. So you just. And we're not worried about you having to carry this. This is just more you moved it out of the way of danger.
Sounds good.
He just keeps it on the fishing line, just dangling behind him.
Beat some motherfuckers with the book.
Don't worry, guys. I got this one.
Anyone else in stage 4? Nah?
Haven't we
Nah,
all
probably a
done
little bit.
something?
Nope.
Or are we
Still waiting on me, technically.
Okay.
And I'm either waiting for 5 or 7. Probably 7.
All right, you gonna do? So 5 is next.
I think I'm. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for 7. I think it's fine for me to wait a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I channel and then release is
In
Phase 6,
6.
which is next phase after 5.
okay. All right, thank you.
Which might be better for you because now they're not gonna move. Because the rest of them are on 5.
Come on, bunch it up, babies!
Yeah, so you got a
I
kobold
want
that
to
comes
see
over
some
here.
circles!
Got a pig bomb about to go off.
Circus.
So we see one of the unstable dragonlings actually run for this bookshelf up here and just start like burning it up. Where another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is running down here. And then if you give me a second.
Also, what are these astral distortions again?
That's, where the books are we gotta grab.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Books are okay.
Yeah, that's just we're just gonna use that one as an objective marker effectively for this is an item you can do shit with.
Works for me.
Perfect. Thank you.
You see 2 more of the draconic, the unstable. I have just forgotten their names. God damn it.
Dragonlings.
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
The
that-
unstable dragonlings have come in from the side here. You know that those were mostly what you were dealing with, so I get 10 of these as combat. So they're gonna keep coming in until I run out. Or you beat everything else other than them, and then I'll let you just say that you win for the rest of them because they're not hard to kill. So that's what they do, and then I need to remember how much the gladiators can move. Also, speed of 5. Okay. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you see this guy here sort of hunker down. He counts as cover since he's kind of using that now for his allies. But he does not really have anything ranged to hit you guys with. You just see him sort of prepare and he's going to defend. So it's going to be a little harder to hit him, I believe. If I'm remembering the moves right. Fox, you can always tell me I'm wrong.
You're right.
But yes, the others are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does the same thing, and this guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He seems to be going around that corner. You think going for maybe the books over here. Maybe he's just trying to get around your all the bullshit you threw down in front of him. But yeah, that's I think everything they can do. Those 3 just defended. I'm gonna mark them so that I remember that. But cool. So 6. I have no more people to move, so it's
Hit it, Maeve.
gonna be Maeve. You get to do your thing and release the spell, and then Kana gets to unleash hell or whatever.
So a blast 2 is what, a 10-foot radius?
Yeah, it should be a 5x5 block, quote unquote.
Damn.
Okay.
That's gonna go crazy.
You put that bitch like right there, or like right there, like right over that lamp right there. That's definitely hitting all 3 of those guys.
You said what? It's a 5x5? Oh shit! Does that?
Yeah.
Oh,
So you could put it like
you're taking the
right
wrong
there.
tool. I gotta
Yeah,
use the
you're all
square.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. You put it like right there over the lamp, and it's gonna hit like. Yeah, exactly. Hit those 3 guys right
That's
there.
it.
Yeah.
Like that? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I love. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she is gonna move to, let's see what the range is.
No, not that big. Whew. It's not a 5 square radius. That would be insane.
It'd be funny though. It's what it would be.
It would be funny. It would be very funny.
Scope is 12. So let's see.
12 is pretty far.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's 12.
Yeah, okay.
That's wild.
Yep,
Oh, sorry, from here.
perfect.
Oh yeah, you easily can place that sucker down.
All right. Let's do exactly that. I will just sort of come over here behind the crates, use the crates as cover. And I will sort of hold up like a spirit bomb, this undulating mass of sort of oily ferrofluid and celestial power that has this purple ring around it, like almost like a Beyblade, right? It's like spinning celestial ring. And I will just kind of do a little grab at the last second, and we're just gonna throw it, and it just distorts time and space around it and has this sort of screeching sound where there's a quick moment where it projects itself, it sort of undulates, and then just launches at full speed over in this direction before exploding. And in the moment it's released, there is the scream from, I think it's, I can't remember if it's Samael, but the pyramid angel from Evangelion that makes that scream. And sort of coming off of the exobomb before it sort of goes right into the center of this brazier, and it sort of sucks all the fire in for a second and just stays there in silence.
Damn.
As the light is sucked out of the room. And for a second, I like to imagine that these creatures, just in the armor and the sort of skeleton, just kind of like feel this distortion. And then it just explodes from inside the brazier in this shadowy force of darkness that just explodes out, shattering the brazier. And you can feel the pulse of the force of this. So it lets out like this energy pulse that ripples across the room. And that is going to be, let me read this. Characters in the blast 2, in the AoE are auto hit, taking 2d6 plus 2 astral.
Just auto hit, like they don't get to say nothing about that, huh?
It fucking dunked on.
Yup.
Literally.
All right. So roll me that damage.
Damn.
13.
Shit.
A 5 and a 6.
Jesus.
Roll.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, does this count as a hit, or is this
Yeah,
like
'cause
just
they're
it does just the
auto-hit.
damage?
Yeah, they are
Auto
auto
hit.
hit.
Cool. I only get so many of these. The Clockwork Wind Bolt is actually going to use a special ability. It is called Barrel Roll. Trigger: the vulture is hit with an attack. The effect, the attack misses, and the vulture can fly up to 3 spaces.
Yep, that counts.
Yep, that'll
So
work.
you see him sort of dash out of the way as the one that can't take this hit, and the other ones take 13. Dear God, they are well and fully bloodied.
Oh, don't worry. I'll take care of the rest.
She is disappointed to see one of them roll away and the other two still standing. She'll kind of turn over at the animated skeleton. No, this isn't an animated skeleton, right?
No, it's like a clockwork construct that has a crossbow.
Okay.
It can fly.
So,
yeah.
All right, gotcha. So seeing the clockwork construct sort of just zip away, she'll just slippery motherfucker and channel some more magic in her hands, ready for the next turn / round.
Cool. I believe that just leaves Kana.
Yep. And as I'm activating in phase 7, I get to do either a slow attack or 2 normal attacks. So I'm going to go do that 2 normal attack thing. Starting off with some movement. I'm going to move to here. Starting off with just movement 2 from where I was. Actually, no, from where I am, I go movement 2 to there. I still got 5 movement left, but before I do any more movement, I'm going to go ahead and do an attack at this guy with my linked gun blades, do their ranged profile.
Hey.
Yeah, similar deal, just spinning around those 2 light sort of like daggers in his hand and just kind of like sending out those waves of heart light at this guy. Let's start it off. I just need to make 2 regular attacks. I'll start off with the first one. That is a 13 plus my grit for a 14.
The guys have a 12 dodge.
Cool.
Or no, hold on, I was looking at the wrong guy. Sorry, they only have an 8 dodge, but they have a 3 armor.
Oh, cool. That's actually slightly annoying then, because my gun blades, I believe, only do up to 1d3 damage, meaning I'm actually probably not going to be able to hurt him with the gun blade. Let me double check something real quick. I might be able to fix this. Nope, I got a plan. In that case, I am going to. Oh, yeah, no, that's the. Actually, sorry. Range does. Range is 1d3 lunar, so that actually isn't going to be able to hurt him unless I punch through him with something more. So I will simply just take that as a. I'm not going to be able to damage him because I can only do 1d3 damage on that one. Since it is linked, however, I am going to do some more moving. I'll move up to my maximum speed to go to here, so I can get right around that corner. And I believe, if I measure this right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Other gunblade's gonna go right at the flying boy over there, since it already uses barrel roll.
Yeah.
This is gonna have difficulty because I'm engaged now. So I'm gonna roll difficulty. Oh, cool! But I'll nat 20 on the d20 and only roll a 2 on the difficulty, so 18.
Yeah, that's gonna hit him.
Bye.
He's going bye-bye.
All right, so here's where we're gonna get really fun. Tate, I am going to spend 2 mana from my gunblade. Yeah. As when I use a gunblade, I can use 1 profile, spend 2 mana, and use the other one. Oh, also I crit, so I get a mana back. Because mana siphon.
Perfect.
So here comes 2 regular attacks at this guy. First one, just gunblade. That's a 15, 16.
He's defending, so you have a difficulty.
Oh, cool. That's a then it's just a 15 then, because I rolled a 1 on the difficulty.
Yeah, perfect. That's still gonna hit. He's not very dodgy.
1d3 plus 1 lunar from each of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the second one real quick, if I don't mind. Second one is a 17, including difficulty.
Yeah,
these are hit. 2, so it's gonna be 1d3 plus 1 damage each. I actually need to roll max damage here to hurt him because of his armor 3. What do you know? I rolled a 5 and a 6.
Hey.
Nice.
So he's gonna die.
Yeah, because he has 3 health left. So.
Yep. So then.
See, I imagine this looks like you threw a blast at him, and he just like shield checks that, and so you get up to him, shoot one past him, that kills this other guy, and then wail on him.
Land next to him, I spin past him. Oh, like an Alliator Dervish kind of just goes out in a line over his head and cuts down the other guy. As he kind of like ducks back, he looks down. Kana is directly under him, spinning the blade and smiling with his just smiling his fucking head off for a while. Looks at him really confidently and just says, "Sorry, give me 1 second. I forgot the name of this one." And just says, "Oh yeah, first dance, bloom at sunset," and just rising uppercut straight through him.
Yeah, he had the shield ready. You went from under it and just went.
I'm going to use my speedster talent to take 2 stress and spend a minor action to move up to half my speed.
Ooh, damn.
1, 2, 3. 4.
All right.
And then I get
Going
one more
through
attack.
the
'Cause
cover?
I could go around if you need me to. I have movement 4, so I could just go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, no, I was looking at the math. You can go like diagonal like that.
Sweet. In which case, I get, because fun fact, all 4 of those attacks came from 2 linked slots. I still
Damn.
get 1 more slot to attack with.
Because yeah, you're doing a full attack, so you just get to use all
Yep.
of your weapons.
So here comes my
This is what
blood
this
pike.
class does. It hits
Yep.
everything a lot, constantly.
Here comes my blood pike. I'm gonna attack you with normally, no accuracy or anything on this, just a normal attack. It's gonna be a
You do-
15.
You do have that difficulty still, because he did defend. All of them did.
15. So down to 13.
Yeah, it's still a hit.
2d6 plus 1 lunar damage for 9 lunar damage.
Yeah, that's also gonna get him. He tries to defend it, cannot do it.
I imagine it's like he brings his shield up and Kana's kind of like drops out of the spin, comes around. The blades kind of just shatter into hard light, and he brings his hands around and sort of manifests this large two-handed spinning, two-handed pole arm in both hands. Starts to spin that around and sort of all around him for a while, and actually, as he kind of lands right next to the guy, just looks at him again, and just, I'm not sure you understand this. I use high magic. Therefore, when I strike, your magic becomes mine. And then he kind of looks at him and just kind of brings the polearm straight down and slices straight through his shield.
Whew.
Yeah, I think it's as you kill these guys, you feel they seem like they were animated by something that left. It's like, it's still magic. It's not no magic. It is empty magic. It is magic without a type, as they are completely without purpose, these copies of a thing.
Kind of spins the polearm. Empty shells with no purpose. Let us put them back to rest. And that's my turn, bud.
That's a big old turn, but I guess you waited for full attack. So then I think it's delay, nothing of that, and then back to phase 1. Bolster, either defend or refresh. If someone needs more mana, now is the time.
Okay.
Let me gain my stress. I do need to lose 2 mana, but I gain 1 back.
I gotta roll a d6. Damn it.
Oh yeah, Leylands. Right.
Yeah, it's just at the start of your turn.
And bolstering. So bolstering restores mana.
If you take the
one of
refresh
those.
action, you can choose
Or refresh.
to do a couple of things, which includes the option to
Yeah.
regain your MP.
Okay. I don't need that right now, but good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
There's a lot of stuff. It helps you reduce stress. It's basically like, I've been hit and I don't want to... Like, I've
It's
used a
the
bunch of
equivalent
resources.
of
I don't wanna-
stabilizing in Lancer, basically.
Okay.
Honestly, I'd say, Maeve, you're only down 2 mana. I'd say you still got
Yeah.
at least another turn and you swinging shit around before you need to worry about recharging.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, if no one else is doing anything in phase 1, then the bad guys are going to move.
All right.
One comes to this... I want the token. Give me the token. Thank you. You see one of these constructs goes around the corner as a minor action, just waves a hand, and the whole thing goes up in smoke and ash. All of the books there. And then I need to check to make sure that his range... Yeah, 10. Dear God, these guys got range.
Yeah. I'm within range. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, kind of that, but I don't know if he can. He can't really go through cover, I guess. So,
I'd have to have a
yeah.
direct tag.
and it does not. So yeah, he waves his staff, and a bolt of energy, of arcanic magic, is gonna fly right at you, and it is +1.
Well, can my tombstone interpose in this case?
If the rule says it can,
On
then
behalf
yeah,
of Ajax, is that who's being attacked?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an 8 to hit, but
I will skedaddle over. Let me double check what my tombstone stats are. It does not hit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the magical tombstone jumps in front of the bolt and saves your body.
Yeah, so I imagine this like energy that was welling up beside you, Ajax, will kind of spiral over and start to envelop you a little bit, and it'll kind of cool. It'll kind of feel like a wet dew on your skin, on your plating.
Yeah, the plating. Just a little spritz of water.
The other one stands here and is actually going to, instead of, or no, he actually he also puts a book up in flames.
No.
And I think he actually moves this way towards his buddy. He doesn't need to be that close. He just doesn't want to get shot at. And he is going to cast something on our friend over here that I need to find a good symbol for. Whatever, it's just going to be this. He casts a elemental shield of fire. He gets the knight gets 5 temporary HP, and the target has resistance to astral. When they're hit by an attack that removes all their temp HP, the attacker must make an agility save or take damage. So he is resistant to astral, which, if I remember right, is the thing that Foxy's using.
No, I default to kinetic, to just regular damage. I just can pick damage types whenever I want, if I can.
Yeah, that's fair. I
Welcome
think
to
he's just
the
doing
job,
this for the fire
baby!
stuff then.
Would I be able to sense that as an envoy of the Shadow Dancers?
In combat, you just get to know all of this stuff generally.
Oh, okay.
So
I have
yes,
some
is the
flavor.
answer.
If they use an ability, I tell it to you what it does, is the thing. So,
Okay.
But I think flavor-wise, you are intimately familiar with this as like sort of the opposite of what you're doing. It feels not great. You know it will not be good for you to do, to attack him with that. But yeah, that's everything in phase 1. Phase 2. Who else is doing stuff in phase 2? It's channel.
Channeling. Anybody got some spells to sling around?
Not
Any
for me.
channelers?
Any real channelers in the chat right now?
Looking. See. Oh, when do we get to use our limit breaks?
It depends on the limit break. If it requires an action, it would say. But it might just be like some of them are just like whenever you want. Like
So
if we look at yours, for example,
it's in the channel phase.
it's in channel phase, so you could use yours in channeling phase.
Okay.
Take a look at the map, see where you might have some opportune targets here, because I mean, you got some good spots here. They're, you also have time before you actually have to throw it off, even if channel, because they're gonna move and such. So you got some space to figure out a good target.
Yep.
I would say honestly, it's up to you. If you want to go AOE and try to like blast some of like these minions in the back, that could be great. Or if you want to go for like a single target spell and just like blow up one of these guys in front of us, also perfectly fine. I think either one's a valid option.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it says the range equals scope, comma, and then I can't see what the rest of it says. BL.
Let me see. I think it just means your range is your scope, but I'm checking. Actually, I'll pull the book up. Yeah, I think that's the other tags it has. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the range is just your scope.
Okay.
I will pull up the rule book and look at your class real quick and double check for you. But I think that's the case.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, it's a blast 1 is what that means. Yeah, the rest of that is the rest of that says blast 1.
Oh, okay.
So it is a little bit of an area of effect when you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So right there would be that's like a 5 foot radius.
Well, remember, you pick you pick the actual like target when you've released. You don't have to pick it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You also can, if you want to, change to sun for larger AoE.
Make it a blast 2 rather than a blast 1.
Yeah.
Would that be
sexy.
when you release, or is it
Yes.
that when you?
Well, you would.
Yeah.
She would switch to sun now as a minor action.
Yeah.
Like during phase 2.
Yeah,
then
okay,
during phase 6
okay.
release, it would be bigger. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what she will do then. Like she was, rather than sort of be embroiled in shadows, she will sort of illuminate a little bit more as the starlight sort of makes her a little bit brighter. And there will be almost like coronal flares on the outside of the magic that she is channeling in her hands now. But they are sort of like shadow flares. And yeah, she will minor action switch to sun. She only had 1 moon. Oh wait, no, she might need to do that because she needs the range because she's trying to get Mage Tower.
Fair.
I don't need Mage Tower though, so it's nice to have.
Oh yeah, because your Tetraflare auto hits, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just probably.
I think I might just hit 2 of those guys instead.
I mean, hey, also they get to move first, so we could try to draw them towards us somewhat.
Yeah. All right. I will hold on to my minor action for now because I can just minor action switch at any time, right?
If technically you would pick your minor action during your turn, so that would technically happen during this phase. It's a little weird though because you also release in phase 6, so I in theory you could minor action in phase 6.
Yeah, I would have to read. For now, we're going to say that that's also part of your turn since you're kind of starting and then ending on phase 6, and we'll look at details later because
All right.
I don't want to
So,
stand by the rules.
Release doesn't count as
I love that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll hold on to switching from moon to sun for now, and I will. Yeah. Let's channel a limit break then. Let's channel the Tetraflare. Yeah, you can apply sun and moon.
You probably want to. I don't know if you're moving anywhere, but yeah.
And movement speed is 4, so I don't have too much movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I like being in the ley line. I think
You do. I'm not your dad. I don't know.
I don't expect them to like fall back at all. And I have lunar.
I think you could be very confident without rolling that at least the unstable dragonlings for sure are going to run forward. They don't seem interested in tactics other than get to objective or hurt person.
Oh, don't worry. I'll give them a reason to run forward.
Okay. So she's gonna channel a Tetraflare, and essentially that aura around her is going to double. And there's sort of like purple lightning will begin to sort of swirl in a vortex around her. It's almost like the event horizon of a black hole, but it's sort of like black and purple and sort of expanding and sucking the light from around her into this. And you can only see like these flashes and sort of make her out when the purple lightning sort of flashes around the swirling event horizon of this like mini black hole that she's creating as she's levitating. And I'll be channeling a Tetraflare. That'll be it for channel.
Good. Cool. Shouldn't have done that. All right. So I'm just messing with my setup and maybe shouldn't have. Anyways, next is 3 skirmish.
Yeah, I think I'll go again on skirmishing.
I'm gonna go as well. Anybody else skirmishing?
To double check. Actually, no, I'm not.
Is that when you use non-melee weapons?
Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I've never done. I don't know her.
A skirmish? Nah.
Skirmish. Fairly noomish.
I hardly. God damn.
Beat you to an asshole, get fucked.
Nobody doing
quick and the dead.
Nobody doing things?
Anybody volleying in this phase? Anybody doing some
Joss, if
bang
you're going,
bangs?
you go first.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you are going.
Yeah. Ajax will kind of. My brain wants to say meander, but that's not the right word.
Yeah.
Up around this little cover bit, and with their main experimental weapon, they will take a shot at
The Arcana Struct.
Arcana Struct, yeah.
About to be Arcana fucked, if you ask me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're all good. Let's see. That is a 17 to hit.
Damn. It doesn't matter which of its defenses is. That definitely is gonna hit him.
Yeah. And then it's a 1d6 plus 2 damage. That is 8 total. Rolled max on the damage. Hell yeah. And then roll another die to see if it needs to be reloaded.
You find this thing is armored enough that it has 1 armor. So it does 7 damage.
That?
Okay. I rolled a 4, thankfully, for the reload, so it does not need to be reloaded. I imagine Ajax, he's walking up, kind of realizes that there's nothing super close, so he'll put his revolvers away, and they'll kind of slick back in to his into his legs, and he will reach up and almost like unsheath this rifle, and he'll flick it down, and the whole mechanism will kind of like if a shotgun went the other way for like,
unfolds into this big barrel.
Yeah, and when it straightens out, the two halves kind of recognize that and slick together, and he'll just take up and just start firing away.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right. Was there anyone else? Someone else said they were going to do a volley?
Yes. I will be. What's the word? I will be volleying. Gonna move. That's not me. Grab my actual token. To here. Is yep. And I'm gonna use.
This is
Stolen
cover,
Life.
so unless it's indirect.
Yeah, it is indirect. I'm gonna use Stolen
check it.
Life, which is an etheric indirect attack on this guy.
Perfect.
Let's see. Yeah, 1d20 plus grit. That is a 14, and it's an etheric.
Yes, it's
attack.
gonna hit.
Okay, so it applies 2 stress, and I'm gonna choose Drain Vitality. So me or a character within range 5 of me clears 2 stress, and I'm gonna pick Haze
Gracias.
to clear 2 stress.
Love that.
And
Woo.
for flavor, what this looks like, I flick out the fishing rod. It goes really far. You see the needle kind of dip and poke the armor in the head, and you see like a faint red light flow along the fishing line back in the cam, who then redirects it, and it kind of flies across to Haze to clear some of that stress.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Don't have no feature to stop that, but it does seem like he can't handle nearly as much stress as damage, so... Alright. I believe then we only got one more of these clockwork guys. Who's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get rid of that. Seems to just like pass through, like not like a ghost, like literally crash through a bookshelf and destroy a whole bunch of these books. And that was 5, and then he's just gonna try and 6, 7. He's gonna get back up there, and I don't think he has anyone in range. Wait, no, hold on. What am I doing? He is there and he is flying, so he is over that cover, if I remember how the rolls work.
Yep.
I think so.
So, what's the range on this? I'm trying to remember. So, I'm trying to track all these different guys. It's not always easy for me. Apologies.
It's easier with time. You're doing fine.
Yep.
Don't worry, Tate. We'll just kill more of them so you have less to track.
Yeah, he's going to do a special ability, Dive Bomb, where he gets to move 14 spaces, which is wild. Yeah, he's running you into the wall if he can manage it. During this movement, one enemy the vulture moves through must make an agility save. Failure, the target takes 4 physical, is sundered until the end of their next turn, and is knocked prone.
Agility save, you say?
Yes.
Hey, Tate, you want to guess what thing I put 2 points into?
I'd imagine it's agility, to be honest.
That's my
he doesn't know
agility,
that.
in case you were curious.
Yeah.
16 on the die, plus 1 for grit, plus 2 for agility, for a 19 total.
Yeah, he fully flies past you. On a success, you still take 2 physical damage. As he still, kind of makes contact, but you just roll with it real good, I guess. You can tell me what that looks like.
Oh, yeah, I imagine kind of sails by and kind of just, sidesteps. It flares by him, takes up his hair, and, cuts his cheek a bit. And again, just happy smile as he looks over at him.
This guy's a freak.
Yeah, that's all he got. So I believe that is the end of that round, or that turn. Next, reposition 4. Anyone gonna rush or hide?
Me? Hide? From anyone? Please.
Never.
Not I.
All right, 5, brawl. Where y'all going? What y'all doing in brawl?
Do I want to brawl or do I want to wait and go again in full attack? If I go in full attack, I will kill something. It's really that simple. I think I actually am comfortable waiting till full. Actually, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all because I have a question. I have a thought here. If I go in 5, I could move in on these guys, like the guys over here on the right, and force these draglings to kind of circle into me so that Maeve can fucking drop a fucking nuke on their heads. Which, that could be great. Yeah. Other option is I can just wait for 7 and then run up on one of these 2 casters and make their days so much worse. And by so much worse, I mean over.
Yeah.
I think that first strat would probably work out pretty well.
Yeah, because if you wait for full attack, you let the bomb go off, and you won't be in range of getting hit by it.
Works for me.
The Tetra Flare.
I have such a cool description in the wings for this.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. In such a case, then yeah, I'm fine waiting until 7. See, clean up whatever doesn't get blown up by Maeve.
Yeah.
Fair and valid. All right. I need to make sure I have all the right thing. All right, so no one else is doing anything on 5, and it'll be all of my guys' turn.
Have fun.
The knight here actually moves past the bookshelves. They seem very not concerned about the books being destroyed, but aren't doing anything about that. They are here to just defend people. But we have... what was their movement? It's 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That guy's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's running there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got a Cobalt that's blowing up the bookshelf. And 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
So close, but no cigar. He can't seem to get there. And two more show up with these unstable dragonlings. But I'm counting that kind of as their movement, I think is how that's supposed to work when you deploy units. Yeah, so that's as far as they've gotten. And Armored Buddy Boy here is also defending again. So difficulty 2 hit him.
Unless he gets auto hit.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, you can't do shit about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what we got.
Yeah, you could center it on the little guy there, and it smashes all three of them. With a blast too.
I also realized, SC, that your Tetra Flare, you can apply any amount of sun or moon to it, up to your max. Like, you don't have to already have that much sun or moon. You can just
apply.
use it.
Yeah.
It is a limit break. That makes sense. It's the sort of big fuck off move.
Wait, hold on. You could possibly do the funniest fucking thing ever. By the way, hold on. What's your maximum sun you can have?
I think it's 2 and 2.
Yeah.
So if it's blast 1 by default, you up it by 2, make it blast 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put it like there. I think that catches all 4 of these guys here.
You have to center it on a character.
On a character, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I auto add both sun and both moon with this?
Good question, actually.
It's just up.
You can also apply benefits of any amount of sun and moon.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't.
Okay, yeah. So that would be, and then, so that would be what, a 15-foot radius then?
Yeah, it'd be you center it on that guy, and it'd be like, yeah, this you would hit these 3. I think you just missed this guy back here, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Honestly, I think that's still more than fine, frankly. Yeah, I think that's still a lot of guys you hit.
You'll get the 2 beefy guys over there, I think, is probably the...
And honestly, depending on how you roll, you'll probably kill this guy back here.
Yeah, can I angle it this way to hit all 3? And center it on...
I mean, you hit all 3 regardless.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't... Yeah,
yeah you're technically centering it on the Cobalt, but centering on the Cobalt, you'll get all 3.
Right, but with it...
It's the additional damage on the...
okay.
I think if you center it on him, you can still hit the...
Yeah, he said he's just like that.
No, he's... yeah, so then that's when... Yeah. I don't know, Tate, you count on that?
Yeah, sure. I'm not feeling picky about this, to be honest.
All right, cool. I mean, yeah, he's in it, and he's already taking half damage, so...
It is in his hex, or in his square. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So let's do that then. All right. So are we good to release this thing?
I ain't stopping you.
Okay. All right. So. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited, y'all. So in this moment, I'm gonna put a different track on for myself in the background because I like the immersion.
I'm glad you're having fun.
Yes. All right. Where were we? There we go. Okay. So, as she's channeling this Tetra Flare, the walls around this place will sort of fade out. This is very Final Fantasy. The walls will sort of fade out, and all around you, you can see the astral plane, the stars, and the universe all around you in vivid detail, like you're on top of a mountain in an observatory. Like every inch of the Milky Way that you see when you're up there in the mountains with no light pollution. You can see all of it clear as night, if you will. And in that moment, a little sort of event horizon, another black hole will open up in this vast expanse of space that we are now sort of floating in. And there's this unsettling, otherworldly rumbling that comes out of this black hole as an uncountable number of writhing, inky black tentacles will sort of emerge and grab around the side of this black hole. And then this sort of horrible beak-like mouth that opens up, and there's eyes around side of it, that all 9 of them around side of this beak-like mouth will just open up, and you can see just rows of teeth. And from the gaping maw of this otherworldly far realm entity, it's just going to charge up, and you'll hear like a more pronounced version of that scream from Evangelion as it just releases this pillar of energy that has almost like a stretched, spaghettified version of other universes swirling around it. and will just slam directly into this guy right here. Before, again, in true Final Fantasy fashion, the walls fade and return to the normal facade that we see. But in that moment, there's this big roiling explosion that kind of blurs everyone's vision in like this blinding darkness momentarily. And that's gonna do, and I'm also spending the extra mana because I'm gonna swing a pot after this to make that damage on this guy a total of 3d6 plus 2 force damage.
For the record, you can increase damage by 1d6 for each mana you spend, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, but I had already spent some mana.
Oh, true.
So I don't quite have enough, but I will roll 3d6 plus 2. And that is 15 damage on the first guy, and the kobold and the construct here, if we're rounding down, will each take 7 damage. If we're rounding up, they'll each take 8.
Yeah. I mean, the Cobalt just blows up. Like, it does not take much, these unstable dragonlings. If he falls, he's going to take 1 damage and blow up. Like, these things are not hard to hurt.
It's like...
And you said it was
like the butter machine in Rick and Morty. Just oh my god!
Expendables are meant to blow up. That's what the template is. And you said how much damage?
15.
15.
15 on the first one, and then
because the knight had 5 temp HP from the fire shielding he had on him, that will be instead minus 10. Oh come on, do the thing, game. You need to make an acrobatics save or agility save as a bolt of fire from that shield as it shatters flies at you.
Me?
Yeah. Whoever reduces the temp HP to 0.
Okay. What am I rolling?
An agility save.
Agility. Oh, jeez. Okay. My agility is 0.
Yeah. So
you had grit though.
Grit.
Where is my grit again?
Just 1.
It's gonna be a 1
at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Okay. 10.
10. It's the S target is 10. I feel like meets it beats it, right?
Meets it beats it is the usual default rule for these games.
Yeah, you avoid getting hit by a bolt of fire from that, and then
right.
15. So yeah, 7 damage from this guy. So the mage is still standing, but only just. He was barely above bloody, and now he is well below it. He's almost as weak as one of these kobolds at this point. Right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, did you go?
You're in.
Oh. That's a reaction. You can do that whenever you want. You don't have to be on your turn.
Do stuff after.
Oh, okay. Got it. No, okay. I got it. Never mind. No.
That's pretty good.
I got it. No, I got it. I figured it out. I figured it. I clocked.
Unless you got a full attack thing, but. I don't know the rules for that, so
yeah, you can't use same weapon twice in the same attack.
Cool. But yeah, I believe that was all of the release phase. Unless there's anyone else that had something they needed to release. Now is full attack.
I'd like to go.
Oh, goody.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're gonna stop right here for a brief moment so I can do some attacking. Cause actually, you know what? Here, we'll do. You know what? So we need to slide up just one more, I think. So let's go.
That'll still be 6. You just diagonal that one.
Let's go there. I think. Yeah.
7.
Then I can pick a. Yeah. Now I'm 5. 5 from him, but I'm not 5 from him. That's fine. I will go ahead and swing some gun blades, cause you know that seems to be working well for the little guys. So here comes a gunblade attack against the first little guy.
Yep.
That's a 15 to hit.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna hit. They are not that dodgy. He blows up.
Yep. And then I'll go ahead and pop my. Oh yeah, you know what? Actually, it's gonna work just fine. I'll go ahead and take 2 more stress to pop my speedster talent, so I can move another half of my speed. And then, thankfully, I've got some reach weapons, Tate. I'd like to use them if that's cool with everybody. Namely, my blood pike is reach 2, so we're gonna go ahead and be swinging with that. It's just like last turn, honestly. So here comes that. It's gonna be just a normal d20 plus my grit for 13 to hit them.
Yeah, it's gonna hit him.
Cool. 2d6 plus 1 lunar damage. Oop. For a grand total of that's 9, 10 damage.
All right. He, even with the 1 armor, that's not gonna do it. You take out the Arcana Struct. When they're broken, you see that there was like a magical sort of arcane framework that was their skeleton inside, that without the metal sort of dissipates.
Yeah, Kana just slices through, as running through, like while moving, spins in a circle, sends out a hard light blade that kills one of the little dragonlings, steps forward and just like throws the pike straight through the other guy as it like kind of like pins him to the ground, kills him, and then shatters into hard light. Kana just lands next to it. These things break so easily.
As Maeve lands, and you can see like she also has like these astral tentacles, like wings around her now that are kind of like retracting as she kind of lands from the tetraflare, and she'll just look over at Kana and be like, "Nice follow through," with her eyes glossed over. But her voice kind of like echoes and like reverberates like a lot, like 2 octaves lower when she says that.
Kind of takes like a low dramatic bow, and I appreciate the setup, friend. Thank you. And yeah, that's my turn, boss. I got not a whole lot else to be going through right now. Yeah, I don't have reached anything else, so I think that's gonna be all I got for now.
Cool. What is Hayes gonna do? What's their strat?
That's actually the name of it in the game.
Beating with the shovel.
Fat ass shovel in the book. Yes.
He is bloodied, although that wasn't the icon. That was the leftover of his fire shield. I have neglected to do that. Also, all the unstable dragonlings count as bloodied all the time.
Yep.
Oh.
Not that matters, because they have 1 health, but
Yeah, that'll hit. He's got a dodge of 8, so. Ooh.
Get fucking bonked.
Just a mile of motion, they root them with a shovel.
All right, the save is 18, so I think they probably save, but 5 physical total. Yes.
Your save target. So yeah, an 18 is gonna pass it, trust me.
Yeah, he has 3 armor, so only takes half of that damage, pretty much. He's not happy though.
A little dude.
Cool. Let me just copy the one you made. Oh, fair. Yes. Thank you. That's a good idea. Alrighty. I think that's back to the top. I don't want to move your ley lines, guys. Come on.
Yeah, that's cheating. Don't do that.
Right. You see the Arcana Struct over here come and destroy some more books. I don't think... Is anyone within range that you can see? It's probably... Nope, that cover that he's put up is causing problems. Oh,
Blocked by his own cover.
Hoisted by my own petard.
Yeah.
Oh no, my petard. Well,
It's
I guess you
hoisted
could
me.
maybe get Ajax. I don't know.
It's like a pixel peak situation.
Yeah, I'd say line of sight, but like with cover.
Definitely giving
Yeah,
cover. Yeah, no question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's got to be
yeah.
some difficulty there.
2 difficulty with hard cover. You said it was hard cover, yes?
Yes.
So it's going to be add 2 difficulty to your roll.
Alrighty.
19 minus 2 plus 6. Wow. It's 11. Is that gonna hit you?
Where'd the plus 6 come from? What the fuck?
No, that's 2 difficulty minus 2 minus 6, right? Or is it just the
no.
highest?
You take the highest one. The highest
You
one.
just take the highest one.
Well, then it would be 13 then.
Probably still
Okay.
hits.
I've got a dodge of 10.
Yep, then that's going to do only 1 discord damage.
Oh.
I've got an armor
Just
of
Discord?
1.
Nah, who gives a fuck about that?
Yeah. Oh, also that was a
Discord is
defense.
separate.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Discord
Oh,
ignores,
it'll
Discord
still
ignores
hit.
armor, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Also, Discord ignores your armor. So the way Discord would work is basically you take immediately 1 piercing damage of whatever so it's 1. You then have 1 Discord. At the end of your turn, you need to roll a check to see if you clear the Discord. If you clear it, you're fine. If you don't, take damage again and it sticks.
And it stays.
It's
yeah.
like Burn and
Okay.
Lancer.
Okay.
Cool. But yeah, it's just 1. And that's all he's got. Oh, sorry, I didn't ask if someone else was going to do a defend or refresh. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, back to
Yes.
round 1. Yeah.
Refreshing.
Yonder. Cool. All right. Phase 2.
Donnell?
Anyone doing spells? I will say you guys are very close to the end of this, where
We just gotta kill the 2 big guys, yeah?
yeah,
Yeah.
or they get the 2 last books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we-
plan on.
We
One.
need
We
to get
have
some
not
books.
1. We should definitely.
I
be
don't
able to
have a
get,
lot of movement.
Yeah, we should.
And I've been
definitely
busy
be able to
killing,
get
I'm
this
sorry.
one. Yeah.
I
I'm
can
gonna
probably grab this
run
one
on 7.
over here on the right.
I think I have something for this that I can do.
So yeah, you gonna
Um,
channel? Anyone gonna channel?
Let me see if this is channel or volley. Let me check my range here.
You got it.
I want a line. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shit, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, okay. I could take a stress, but that's what I'm gonna do. I will take one. What is taking a stress do?
By default, nothing. You
Uh,
just take up 1 stress. It's when you go over your stress cap that a thing happens.
Okay. I will, and can I use a minor action at any time, or do I have to wait until I do
Yes.
something else?
During your turn.
During your turn. Well, it's during your turn, but if you're doing your turn, then yeah, it's anytime during your turn.
Okay. So, but I can't like do a minor action now and then volley after.
No, but you would
have to wait
no,
for-
but yeah, but if when we hit phase 3 volley, you can do your minor action before you do your
Okay.
main volley action if you want.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm good with phase 2 then.
All right. Then we into phase 3. Mark search volley.
Okay, so yeah, I will take a stress. As you can see her kind of straining a little bit from all the magic she used, because that's part of what allows me to extend my range with the moon that I have. So by default, I have 1 moon. I had channeled 1 moon. It just went up to max because of the limit break. But I'm back down to my 1 moon, and I will use that to extend the scope by 4 to get me to the Cobalt. And as a minor action, I will do my Thanos thing that I did in the first episode, and I will just sort of put my hand out, and like 3 of those shadowed tentacles will just whip over like at like supersonic speed, and will strike this Cobalt over here, and basically just it deals 1 force damage to an enemy within range, or 3 force if they're bloodied, which I think you said that they were all bloodied.
Yeah,
and
they also only have 1 HP.
Yeah, and these shadowy tentacles will essentially just Thanos snap this thing into space dust.
Okay, which one are these kobolds? That wasn't.
This one by the book.
Aha, alright. He gets deleted.
Yeah. As the tentacles would have come back into my little void ley line circle here. I will. Oh, and I gotta roll my. I didn't roll. Oh yeah, D6. Oh hey, I got an MP back.
Hey.
Okay,
Nice.
1 MP from being in the ley line, and then I will volley over at the knight here.
You get multiple attacks with that, damn. Alright.
The armor.
Well, the thing was a minor action. The thing she just did.
Ah, okay.
So,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah, Scar is a minor action. It's really powerful, especially for me.
Damn, yeah.
I think I used that twice in our first session. Hang on, I just
No, I think you did.
the memory, which will bring me down to 4, and that memory that I gained at the start will allow me to do that, which put me back down to 0, so I don't have to swig a potion, which means I can do that, which is good. That was contingent on that dice roll, so I'm glad that worked. And then I will volley a I'm gonna do 2 of these. 1d6 plus 1. Oh, that's more. Is this one still resistant to astral damage? Is this the one that was resistant?
It's not. The fire thing
Actually, it's
that
not.
missed you was the thing that was doing that. And the
Okay,
caster that
alright.
gave
also
it
the
to
guy
him
who
was
gave
dead
it to him
too.
was also dead.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
He does still have 3 armor though.
Hmm.
I will say
Alright, so-
also the guy in the bottom corner here that maybe isn't people aren't looking at. He goes on 3. Like he goes
Oh.
after you.
Him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And he only has the
Um,
1 HP as well. So
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, I only have the 1 minor action. Should I don't know, squad. What do you think? Do you want me to hit the little kobold or this guy?
I mean, how much damage do you do with this?
It's gonna be 1d6 plus 1.
Then as long as you roll above 3, you're gonna kill either one of them. So I'd say player choice. Hayes, do you think you're
Yeah.
gonna try to bonk the guy in front of you again for the kill, or do you want to do something else?
I'm
'Cause-
worried about this book.
I would say yeah. I'd say yeah. Why not do that? Why not maybe if you want to try to blast the knight and then let Hayes have the freedom of movement to go for the book. That could be solid.
All right, yeah. So I will just kind of. Oh, and I should have Mage Tower now.
Yeah, you haven't moved.
Okay. All right. So, cool stuff is happening. She will sort of be bolstered by like since she hasn't moved, her version of the Mage Tower will be like this shadowy obelisk will appear like behind her.
Mhm.
She's levitating like right in front of it. Spell attacks gain +1 accuracy. That's going to be a volley. So how do I...
Regular roll
How
attack.
do I roll the hit? Okay.
D20 plus grit.
Yep.
20 plus grit. Okay.
Is your attack etheric?
So good question.
What are you using?
The Saturn rod, or
If it's Saturn Rod, then yes, it is in fact.
I'm using Celestial Ray, range spell attack.
Oh, then yes, same deal.
Okay, so
It's a
just
spell
a
attack
D6.
anyway. So yeah,
Plus
so
one?
no, it's D20 plus your grit trying to beat their Aether defense.
Okay, so it's a 6, not good. +1, and then it says I have +1 to accuracy. Does that also add another +1?
You have
plus D6.
yeah, add D6. Yep.
Although I'll say you don't need it. The Aether defense of the Empty Knight is only a 6.
Oh, cool. You hit him.
okay. All right,
They
awesome.
are not good at that. They are quite bad, actually.
All right, so that would give me a D6 +1 of damage.
Roll more than the 3 and he's dead.
Okay. Five.
Yeah, that was the last of it.
All right, of astral. So sort of that concentrated starlight, I will just channel into a beam, put both my hands together. Like I'll sort of summon it from the center in a ball, focus it into a beam, do a little DBZ, right? Hands together out of the palm.
Hakai.
And send this concentrated starlight over to this thing and just watch as the astral energy just kind of shatters the armor into several dozen pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely works. And you'd now also feel this sense that they were sort of empty because of the magic that dissipated. They were nothing at any time. At this time, I want to make sure I understand the rules. So now I do summon 1 unit
Yes.
of the insert.
Yes.
Okay.
One at a
Then unfortunately, this guy comes up here and gets this book over here.
Rude.
Oh no!
And then he's going to roll an attack against Cam, I think, or 2 attacks, because I don't think he can get to Ajax back there.
Not like this.
I don't think so either.
Y'all, I think we're gonna fail this mission.
I mean, there's only 1 book left. Just gotta keep them away from it.
How many? I know, but they wanted us to prioritize this.
Oh,
It was
well,
technically
the
a
intern's
success.
dead.
And they're interns.
That's a 19 for the first one, and I'm just going to roll the next one as well.
Can the tombstone do the thingy again? Or
That's a 1.
oh, okay. Was that? I thought that was a few rounds ago.
3.
3.
Like 3.
3.
The f-
Yeah, right. So you are going to... The first one's probably going to
Blue.
hit, and I imagine the second one does not.
I
Yeah.
thought that you had
You
done
said
that
that-
at the start of phase 2 or round 2.
Sorry, we're in round 3. I don't know if it's once a round.
Does it stay? Because typically you can use a reaction per turn.
Yeah, reactions are unless the reaction says once per round, then it can use 1. Interpose.
The
To interpose, right?
yeah,
To stop.
interpose.
No.
Oh
No.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, 19. Is a 19 going to hit the tombstone? Cool. It takes 4 damage, and the second one isn't going to hit because it's rolled a 2.
Neat.
Cam.
Cam.
Yeah.
So yeah, both these bolts shoot out, and you protect your buddy. Cam the fisherman. All right. Yeah, that's all I got. So 4, reposition, rush or hide.
Nothing here. Oh wait, Hari. Ajax, do you want to go in 3?
Oh, sorry, 3. Right, Ajax.
I'm-
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm waiting for 7.
Okay.
I got something planned for this guy.
Sexy.
I'll go in 3.
I got something for his head. Yeah. Okay.
Alright. I'll move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will. Yeah, I'll just hit this guy with my fishing rod. Just
Cool.
chow. Let's see. How does? Oh, that's a nat 1. All right.
Reroll table.
Yeah, I'll reroll that. Why not? I'll use the strain option. I'll take. Let's see, how much stress do I take? I take 2 stress. And that attack becomes instead a 12. And this is
that
just a regular attack.
Yeah, meets it, beats it. That's his dodge.
Cool.
These suckers are so hard to hit. I could have given them an ability to say reactions just don't work on them, which would be even worse.
Yeah. Does it matter how much damage it does?
Nah, he's a
All right.
1.
Great.
Yeah, you pull this thing out of the sky with your fishing rod, I think.
Yep. And
Get out.
let's see.
Down.
How much movement was that?
5,
I
you
think that's
said.
good. Yep. All right. That's it.
My screen's so much more clear. I have way less to worry about.
See, you're welcome.
In my lane, unbothered. All right. Yeah. So
Motherfucker.
4. Rush or hide.
I never hide, and I always rush.
I know you meant that to say not me, but when you say I always rush, I'm like, then are you doing?
No, I'm just fast
then,
enough
yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm always rushing. That's all.
Fair. All right. Then 5.
Are
Who wants
you
to?
always rushing because you're moving fast, or because you have to move that fast?
I must go fast because it's required of
5.
me. Yeah, I'll go. It's fine. I can get to here with my 7 movement, and I think that gives me range to. Cool, both of them, perfect. I'll give the guy down here cover from me though. I feel like because I'm still kind of going through the bookshelf for that, so I'll give him cover from that.
Got to put
so
a
we'll
little
start off
English
with
on
the
it. Curve the bullet.
Yeah, exactly. Doing little spin moves. We'll start with him first. So difficulty on this roll. Let's see. Okay, that's let's see. It's a 16 on the die, 3 on the difficulty, for a 13 plus 1 for 14.
That's definitely gonna hit. Their dodge is not that great.
Hey, bye. And then for
there's
his
a
friend?
little explosion.
For his friend is a 15 to hit.
Yeah, it's still gonna hit him.
Yeah, Kana just like sliding past Hayes and just like swinging out hard light blaze and just protect the books. I'll cover you. And then, yeah, I think I'm just gonna. I've got no more movement, and I could take a minor action here if I need to do something. Actually, hold on. I got a plan here. 1, 2. Yeah, I got a plan here. I got it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna minor action, take 2 more stress, and use my my speedster to go right here. Now
Hey.
he's within my reach. So when he moves, I get to fuck him up. You should do it now.
Although, very first we get 2 more guys deploy because they deploy in pairs.
Nice.
But yeah, now you do the thing that you want to do.
I'm assuming he's gonna move.
Oh no, that's they count as one turn since
Oh
I
no,
have to do
I
every
mean
other.
this guy right here.
Yeah,
He
on
has-
his turn,
oh, yeah?
but Hayes gets to go now if Hayes is doing
Oh yeah,
a
sure, my bad.
5. Are you getting the book?
Yeah.
Oh,
Get that
okay.
book.
Then yeah, this guy's gonna try and move and jump at you.
Well, before you do that,
Yeah,
how's a 19 to hit you sound?
yeah, and I think that it happens before he moves, not when he moves, right?
It's when you start a movement. So
Start a movement. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is just important because if he gets to move 1 space, you'd have to deal with the explosion, but you get him just in time.
yeah,
When
like
it starts,
I imagine
is that
Kana's
gonna
like
roll
looking
that?
at Hayes and like he tries to like run up behind him and kind of just like spins the coil armor circle behind him real quick and just. Are you well?
You all right, Shane?
Never better. I'm having fun. Excuse me. I am having fun. Kind of losing distractions.
But you've given yourself this specific thing that Kana does, and it's gonna get you every time.
I just need time. I just need time. It's all good.
Yeah. Anyone else doing stuff on 5 then? No? All right, then 6.
Nope.
Is release. 7 is full attack.
Yes. I will
Ajax.
be going. Yes. Is there anybody else going, or is it just me?
I already went.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I will take my movement. And as Ajax is, they probably like noticed their armor got dinged through that Discord damage and go, noted. And they will like the rifle that they've been using will kind of unlock itself and it'll fold back up, and as they put it in, another rifle, a different one that
Man has so many guns,
like a polearm length kind of rifle, and they will take a little stone off of like kind of their waistband and put it into this weapon, and it'll like start glowing with almost this white blue light, and they will use their lunar cannon at this dude, and yeah. And then what I'm flavoring the whetstone as that crystal that's powering the weapon.
Yeah.
That is a 15 to hit.
Yeah, it's gonna hit, regardless of what kind of defense that is. These things are not meant to be frontline fighters.
Yeah, and I imagine it's either. Let's see, how do I want to flavor the firing of this? Yeah, you ever seen the Spartan laser from Halo?
Yes.
Just a big fuck you, just pile of light will just kind of corrugate and then just launch out, doing 3d6 plus 3 damage. And because I used a whetstone, it does maximum damage.
Damn.
21 damage, baby!
Yeah, that's gonna completely obliterate this thing.
Oh, nigga!
I think you feel fortunate that the books are already destroyed by this thing. Otherwise, the whole bookshelf behind him also got fucked.
What's a fucking hole in the wall?
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
It's not outside. I think you hear a Cobalt explode outside that got hit.
And then I attacked with a reloading weapon, so I can roll a d6.
Well,
to see if it reloaded. It did not.
That's not going to be as important because I'm going to say you have defeated most of the defenses. There's some kobolds, but honestly, the rate at which all of you can destroy them, they're no longer a threat. So, Cam, you have a stack of books on your fishing rod, and Hayes, right before you, is kind of up there, like you have to crawl up to it, but are some more books. There's sort of a selection. Looking at them, they are written in a language that I don't think any of you would recognize. I don't think it's a language that almost anyone alive, if anyone alive, would recognize. Unless maybe
I'm
Kana...
247 years old, if that matters.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless Kana is like a linguist, because it would not be one that he would have run into.
Oh, well then no, he's very dumb.
Yeah, it's not like one that... But you probably, like, Kana, maybe you'd know someone that could read it, but... It's clear to you it's not a language that has been written or spoken in probably your lifetime. Or at least you do not recognize it in any way. These books are that old, but the machines seem way more advanced. The clockwork soldiers and the sort of flying mechanical wind constructs. They'd be outdated in New Avalon, but not old. And you feel, not for the first time, a sense of melancholy and sadness at seeing this place, this grand library with armor and art and tapestries and untold amount of books that have just been lost to the fact that that realm destroyed itself in some way, and you don't know how or why.
This place is older even than me. So much history lost. So many lives forgotten. Indeed.
Yeah, shame we couldn't protect more of them.
We did what we could. You all fought well today. I am proud to call you my comrades.
This is getting very real, just the loss of knowledge and culture. We should go.
Indeed. I believe there is more to be seen here. Shall we explore further?
Yeah,
We need to.
let's get a move on.
And if it pleases the table, I think that's a good point to end with. The camera zooms out, and in this sight beyond sight, this not attached to a person, it passes through the bubble of this ruin, of this dungeon. And as soon as it leaves, it's the true sense of the Aether Wilds, of roiling Aether energy, of raw magic, and many spirits that have just been ejected out of it, sort of hovering around the outsides, looking for a way back into reality. And they'll find one soon, but probably not before Hayes in particular will have a chance to quite easily bring them actual rest and peace. And it's only as the view passes farther and you see the realm that dungeon has attached itself to, and then more of these satellite realms around New Avalon and New Avalon itself, and these snow globes of magical reality, of fantastic lands floating in this sea of Aether, that we realize this one place isn't an anomaly. It is the nature of reality now, and it has been for hundreds of years. That things are grown, worlds are made, and then they, at some point, if they're not maintained, die. And I want to thank all of you who joined us for this amazing first look at the Knights of New Avalon and the Fractal Realms, a Beacon Odyssey. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to put some music back on because it feels weird not to. And I would also love to thank my players for joining me on this journey and this first step on our much longer journey of discovering what the hell happened to make the world this way, as well as a bunch of other stuff. I would love to have everyone introduce themselves again, say who they're playing, and any shout-outs. I wish I could have Twitch open at the same time. I'm just going to call you guys out just because I have an order here. How about Egg? You want to go first? Perfect. Excellent. Wonderful. Foxy, how about you next?
What up, kids? Young Foxy, Big Foxy, aka your favorite Fox Philly's finest. I have been having the esteemed pleasure of introducing you all to the wonderful and ever boisterous Kana Alva, the Ariat Cavalier, and team's resident little shit gremlin. It's been so fun. I love this game. I love this cast, and I can't wait to play more of it. Thanks for being here, guys.
Excellent. How about Lucian?
Hey, I'm Lucian. I played Cam, the solitary angler. He's our dwarf life weaver. This has been a blast. Looking forward to more times to come.
Perfect. How about Essie?
Hi, I'm Essie, and I played our resident Equinox slash Void Weaver slash Eldritch Prophet, all kinds of weird themes that we got going on. Eldritch Summoner, I should say, if you will. Also known as the Night Terror, Maeve. Everyone else has these great cheery names, and we were having a good laugh about it in the chat about, the Angler, and I'm going to wait for some more of these to come up on screen as we go through. But there were all these real positive and sort of heroic names, and there's just, here we go. The Trailblazer, Sapphire's Grace, the Aureate Cavalier, and then Broody Night Terror. So
Fucking
yeah,
edgelord.
that's Maeve, our resident edgelord, and thanks everybody for coming out to watch episode 1. Great turnout, and shout out to the audience for y'all were amazing and a great part of this. So thanks everyone for watching us nerd out in this amazing Final Fantasy adjacent setting with all these amazing SNES era throwbacks. I love this so much. And I want to thank our GM and our cast members and the audience for joining us on this very nostalgic adventure. Thank you.
Perfect. There's one more by process of elimination, Chas.
Yep. I have been Chaos, playing Ajax, the CNC machine with just too many guns. The Machina Trailblazer, or the Trailblazer.
Yes.
And I haven't been able to be online as of too much lately, but now that my schedule has finally opened up, only having one job, you will probably see me at least a little bit more on my own Twitch. It's Chouse, at least hopefully, but yeah.
We all look forward to it. And hello, Twitch. I am and have been Tate Washburn, who has been playing everyone other than these lovely people in the world. You can find me at Tate the Terrific in any place that you care to find me, or I care to be found. And if you find me somewhere else, no, you didn't. I will be next in The World Within You on the 24th, which will be a great, big, awesome new fight in our... I can't remember how... Berman says it, the spray paint splattered, awesome, going into people's heads.
Boosted spray paint splattered take on Minerva McJanda's Void Heart Symphony.
See, I'm a little too overloaded from running my own game. I did not remember someone else's outro. And yeah, that's been us. But you should really just follow us on Blue Sky, that Neon Lights Role Play, because we got several people running it who are funnier than me, and it's where we announce all the cool stuff that we're doing. It's also, join us on our Discord where we meme and we stream and we have a good time, and also that's where we find new players for stuff like this. So that's all I got, and I believe, Fox, you had another thing you wanted to shout out real quick.
Yeah, friends, thanks for passing it back over to me. If you haven't noticed on your screens here, it is, of course, the lovely month of February, meaning it is Black History Month, a time that's very important to us over here at the Alliance Roleplay. And to represent that, like we do every single year, we are hosting a large charity campaign. This year, we are supporting the Power of Paint Art Academy, a Black-based and Black-owned collective of art and workshop producers and otherwise community effort assets designed to bring support, relief, and sort of reify the voices of Black communities, including LGBTQIA communities. They are based in my own lovely city of Philadelphia. I think they are an incredible org that I've sent some great love to, and they've already replied to us saying that they appreciate the work that we do. Our goal is to raise $1,000 for them this month. We've already had some incredible folk donating and offering their lovely sort of time and energy to us. So if you at any point in time find yourself in the Neon Light stream and want to offer to donate, put the command NLR BHM in chat. Or maybe that's not actually, I did it wrong. NLR BHM in chat, and that will give you directly a link to offer a donation link. Again, try to get $1,000 by the end of the month. You will find us back here supporting this chat for every stream we have for the rest of this month, meaning you'll see us here for Tweewee, for Tears of Divinity, for Oathsworn, and for everything else that we do. So please, if you have the time, energy, and the love, please give some love to Power of Paint Art Academy, and by proxy to Neon Lights. Thank you guys for your time. You are all incredible. Mwah.
Thank you and goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, we